we
Should have put that
we
number over Hakari, by the way.
ha ha ha. God, you're such a hater, bro.
I am. Hello, I'm Ronan. Nice to meet you. Um,
Hi
yeah.
everyone. Welcome. This is Honored Ones.
Wow, bro, what a great introduction.
I mean,
Yeah. What's up,
bro,
guys?
it's an art. All right, every week we get on here, right? It's like, hey guys, welcome back to Honored Ones, the greatest podcast on earth, right? They know it, right? They can recite the script
Mhm.
to us. Hell, one of these days, you know what we should do? We should have chat say the intro for us.
What? Have them type it out, and what do we? And bro, chat can't be trusted. Chat can't be trusted, bro. Not most y'all. Not most y'all. But yeah, what's up, chat? Hope y'all are doing good on this fine Sunday afternoon. We got a pretty good chapter in JJK today. We had some other interesting JJK news that we'll talk about briefly. Maybe some hate. Sorry.
Mm,
Going to talk about Blue Lock, and then maybe not, and then, but in the midst of this, we're
mm,
gonna have a pretty interesting announcement for you guys.
yep.
But yeah, hope you guys are doing good, and I guess we can kind of kick it off.
Oh,
Um,
and book club, right? You said,
and book club,
yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
Almost completely forgot about that. It's been so long since I read Monster. Um, but yeah, so I think we can kick this off with a little bit of JJK talk, to satiate you guys, wet your palate a little bit
Mm.
before we talk about the chapter and stuff. Jujutsu Kaisen got a video game.
They got a video
Um,
game announced. Yep.
hey, listen, don't show your hand too early, bro. Don't show your hand too early, all right? It's suspense, it's build up, all right?
Okay, yeah, you're right.
JJK got a video game. They
Mm-hmm.
got a video game, and I mean, it like we have been asking for a video game for a while, bro. At least I have. I've been wanting a JJK video game for a minute. I've been needing one,
Okay.
and we finally got it, and we finally saw the announcement, and that's just no, um, I'm curious. Before I give my input, before I sway the hearts and minds of every chatter in here, how do you guys feel about it? I'm very curious about what the consensus is because I've seen a lot of JJK fans that are like me and are skeptical, to say the least. And I've seen a lot of others that are also just like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to play. I just want to play as Gojo. I just want to play as Yuji. I just want to play as Nobara, Megami, and all these other characters. So I'm kind of curious how you guys where you guys stand on that. Um,
In the meantime, I'm gonna walk chat through my little journey with this trailer because for me it came out of nowhere, and I don't think I was among the chosen few who were asking for a game in the first place. Apparently,
mhm. Yeah. Oh, you didn't want one.
I didn't know that that's something like I didn't even know that was possible. Because
Yeah.
like, dog, how you playing as Gojo? Like, literally, like, are you
Yeah.
gonna
See,
like no? Really think about it, right? Unless you have to earn all of his abilities, or you have to like exclusively play as him as like young Gojo, and then the game ends with you like unleashing a single purple. I don't know how you're doing that. That being said, right?
you're no fun, bro. I can tell you that right now.
Hold on. That being said, I saw the trailer. I saw like the little animations. They copied the style of the anime, and I was kind of like, let out one of those like, you have my
Let
attention,
out.
right?
Fair enough.
And then I'm like, hey, this looks pretty decent. I wonder what the like mechanics will be, and then we'll decide how we feel about it. Like us amongst the people, right? The streets.
Mm-hmm.
Then a little guy by the name of Mike UB hits me up in the replies, and he's like, hey man, check out this the gameplay for a game called what is it? My Hero Academia All Superstars or All Stars, right? I think it was called. I look up the gameplay. When I saw the most dull fighter, I was depressed. I was in the ground, dude. I was so sad. And I'm heartbroken. I'm ashamed. I feel like my time was wasted. I'd send them an invoice to try to feel some kind of compensation, but I don't know if it'll ever truly be enough.
Really feel devastated, huh?
Beside myself with anguish.
Yeah. So I wasn't quite um quite as dramatic, I will say. But let's see. Let me see. What are people saying? Typical Bandai Namco. Yeah. Angel Access ass. Yeah. It's a Storm clone. I'm gonna tell you this right now. That's mad disrespectful to Storm. I'm gonna be real with you. the Storm games are not great. Okay, they're not. I could tell you right now, this is more like a One Punch Man Heroes Justice than it is a Storm game. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, listen, bro. You know what's crazy?
Mobile game.
I didn't even like it was there was like a second of hype, right? When Mikey, I don't know if you saw him send the thing in the Discord. But he sent the link, right? He sent the link, and I was like, You're lying, right? Because I didn't click yet, right? I'm like, you're lying. I click the link. I see a character, I see a model, I see Yuji's model, right? And I know we lost, bro. It's over. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this simply isn't crisp enough. I didn't even see gameplay. I didn't see nothing. I just knew. I saw Sukuna. I saw Yuji. I saw what the cutscenes, like the pinnacle of the game, looked like, and I said no. No, not Jujutsu Kaisen, man. You can do this with My Hero. You can do this with One Punch Man.
Do this
but
with
you
My
can't
Hero.
do this. Why? That's what I mean. Like, I'm saying you can make those bad arena fighters, bro. But why JJK?
Like, why?
JJK, man?
Why do they have to do it to me personally, man? I just,
bro, that was, I've never gotten so unhyped. It literally was like 3 seconds in, and I was like, I don't care. It was, I don't know, man, bro. I don't know. Let's see. Sleeping Danger, thank you for the 14. If it's not a Naruto or DBZ, or if it's not Naruto or DBZ, anime games are mid. I would even go so far as to say, even with Naruto and Dragon Ball, a very large percentage of their games are still bad.
Yeah, I think, what would you say is the most successful one? Like, Kakarot?
Most successful is in terms of numbers, or most successful in terms of being good?
Either. Like, whichever one.
I would say the Storm games and like Dragon Ball Fighters are probably the best anime games that I can think of off the top of my head. That I have the experience of like playing and stuff like that. Storm is just really fun, but it's like, okay, so I love Storm. Like, I'm not gonna say it's a bad game. It's not a bad game. In fact, in terms of anime games, it's really good, right? Like on that scale. But it's also not the craziest game in the world either. You know what I mean? So for being at the top of its genre, I guess if you want to put it like that, it's not great. Fighters, I guess up until recently, in the consensus of a lot of people, was a great game. Like, I think Fighters is a really good game. I'm not even the biggest 2D like fighting game type of guy, but like it's just a good game, or at least for the longest time, it was a really good game. So like there are good games there, a good game, a couple of good games there, but like it is just kind of a fact of life that anime games on the whole are not ever really good. I mean, they're just not, bro. And the reason, you want me to be honest with you, chat? The reason is because there are gonna be people in here that are buying the game anyway. Y'all know you are getting a One Punch Man Heroes Justice. Just straight garbage, triple cardboard, bro. You about to get, this is gonna be you're gonna have seven playable characters, and like one of them's gonna be a different variation of Gojo or something, bro. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be a good game. But the thing is, they keep getting made because we're just gonna buy them. It's like you slap a character on the screen, and like generally speaking, anime fans just go nuts. Like, it's just like, oh, Gojo did red, must buy. And I get it, bro. I get it. Because I bought Jump Force, all right? I'm not better than anybody here. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is they keep getting made because they keep getting bought, bro.
They keep getting away with it, so what's the incentive to stop? Right?
There's no incentive.
Yep.
There's no incentive. Right? Like we eat, like they dump the food on the floor, step on it, and then they're like, here you go, and then we eat it. Like, of course they're gonna keep doing it, bro. Why are they gonna cook up a gourmet meal if some ramen noodles are gonna suffice? Like, why would they do that?
Oh, Jaden 3011, thank you for the 5. Listen, Storm might fumble with the gameplay, but CyberConnect cooks with the cutscenes. Put some respect on their name.
Listen, bro, you don't have to tell me. I know. I'm locked in, bro. there are some fights in like cutscenes in the Naruto Storm games that are simply better than the anime, right? Like I'm not going to like hold you. I'm not going to pretend like listen, I just mean like as a game, like as you mentioned, the gameplay isn't the best. It's not bad. I'll hop on Storm right now and play for a little bit, right? It's a fun game, but it's not great. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like. That's what I like. Just take out like anime games, right? Like take out anime games. Imagine if you told somebody, right? Like if you're trying to sell Elden Ring to somebody, and you're like, bro, listen, the gameplay ain't that great, but the cutscenes go hard. I might as well watch a movie. What do you mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say you might. So you're just asking me to watch the movie on YouTube? Like literally, it's so funny that you mentioned that because it actually it gets I'm able to simplify what the vibe of the JJK game gave me. Right, this is a mobile game that they're charging PC game for. Like this is console money for a mobile game, and I'm not okay with that.
It's wild, bro. It's like
it's the audacity. Like.
It's just like I'm not even really mad about it. Like it doesn't like truly like irk me or bother me.
It's disappointment because like
it's just like I guess, bro. Like I guess that's all we could have gotten.
Like it shouldn't be, you know. Like
I definitely shouldn't be. But like excuse me. I saw someone in chat say, "Yeah, bro, sorry, but I need to play as Gojo." And listen, I'm not gonna call you out because I personally I couldn't even if I wanted to. I don't remember your name seeing it in chat. But like here's the thing. That is the sentiment held by a lot of people. The game could be literally nothing, right? It could, as that game trailer showed, it doesn't look all that impressive. I feel like most people would agree. Outside of just having characters that we like put in a video game, what is there to be impressed by? Nothing really. That's fine. That's cool. Whatever, right? Now, normally a game like that would flop. Like, you just put that type of game out with an IP that nobody knows, that is literally getting zero sales. Mm-hmm. Not a single soul on the planet is going to buy that game. But also,
like, I wouldn't even consider that playing as Gojo, because it doesn't look and feel like you're playing the character from JJK. It feels like somebody's giving you an imitation of his powers. Like, I saw this one sequence from the trailer where he launched a red. I was like, oh, that's just like a generic energy blast that they made him shoot through his fingers. Like what are we
bro.
doing
I mean,
here?
Listen, I will say the most creative thing that game could do is potentially allow like active 2v2s to like incorporate the very prominent jumping aspect of JJK. And I'm not gonna lie, in a better game, that would excite me. Like being able to play a fighting game where like you and another person are going up against another two people sounds fun, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, just not for that game. And so, Wiener, you are a great example, bro. I mean,
I will definitely. You know what I'm gonna peep some of the gameplay, and I think, it would be funny to try it out if it was free.
Bro, listen, I would probably download it if it was a free game. I would download it if it was a free game because I want to. Listen, don't get me wrong, bro. Like as much as I'm dunking on the game, like. I would like to play as Megami, bro. I would like to be able to do that shit
for free.
But
like paying
$60,
yeah,
$70.
Let's bring that down a notch and get rid of that first number. Keep the zeros though.
Yeah. To be fair, they really showed next to nothing, which is why I'm still open minded. I would just got to see more. Hey, fair enough, bro. Listen. If you got hope, you got hope, bro. I can't hate. I've been through this arena fighter. Oh, it might be good. Oh, it might. I've been through this cycle, bro. I played Jump Force. That's what I'm saying. Like, I played Jump Force. I played the My Hero Academia game. I didn't play the One Punch Man game because I started to catch on to the formula. But like, I get it, bro. It happens. You like the characters that are in there, bro. It happens. But it's certainly. It's certainly not optimal. BR's gonna buy it with his YouTube bucks. Hey, listen, bro. My hard-earned AdSense money is not going to that game. Listen, bro. If you Gege can have my money for volumes. He cannot have it for that game.
Dog, you know what you could do? You could try to live stream you playing that game and try to convince the IRS.
And what, recoup the money? Oh, nah.
Try to write it off.
Not worth the effort, bro. No. No. It's okay.
Bro,
Um,
if I feel like if you wanted to be really funny as like an IRS agent, to like a streamer, you could just be like, "Hey, bro, I don't look at your face. I don't think you're having fun.
I don't think you're having fun. This doesn't look right offable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm not seeing a smile. I'm sorry, bro. You gotta bite the bullet on this one.
yeah. Um,
Sleeping Danger, thank you
yes.
for the 14. One of BR's last chances to get Megami content. Woof.
Listen, bro. I'm not even offended by any of these things because I just pray for you, Sleeping Danger, because you donate a lot and you're a cool chatter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the Megami hate. I pray for your sake that Megami does not come back because I already told you guys this last stream. If he comes back, you're banned. Like, I'm sorry. So I just pray for you, bro. For you personally, as an individual, I hope he doesn't come back for you, bro. Because you're done. You're cooked in this
Makes it
town.
sound
You hear me?
Like Megami's gonna come back for revenge. That's hilarious.
I am the the physical embodiment of vengeance once Megami comes back. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. Anyways, JJK game, definitely a video game, right?
It is.
So yeah.
Yep. It exists.
Let's see. It definitely does exist. Do you want to jump into the book club real quick before we talk about chapters and things of that nature?
Yeah, let's do
Cool.
it.
So, no surprise, we're reading Monster. And this week we decided to start off a little slow just to kind of ease our way into the series, get a feel for like how the pacing's going to be, all that kind of different stuff, how we feel reading it over the course of a week. So we started off with 25 chapters.
Yeah.
And
Also the chapters are
I
a little bit longer. I think.
they're a little bit longer,
Yeah.
they're a little wordy. It's just that type of series. Not a bad thing, just a observation. I got to say personally, I kind of tweeted out some of my thoughts, but I am liking what I'm reading so far. Like I'm enjoying it, and I feel like I'm enjoying it in the same way that I enjoy a lot of other like sort of
Murder
like
mystery.
psychological thriller mystery type of things.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. Like I like Tenma as a protagonist. I think he's cool. His ideals feel like they're being fleshed out or whatever. I like the detective guy. I don't know if you remember his name. I certainly don't. But the guy with the massive cranium and like the typing keys tick. I like Tenma and him. Johan, I feel like I'm going to like as soon as he gets like on screen showings for the most part because he has presence.
Yes,
he has presence, bro. He has an aura when he when he turns back and just looks. I'm like, yeah, like, this is an antagonist, bro. This is a villain.
Bro, he had like the kindest eyes I've ever seen. I was like, oh, that's creepy. Bro, that's creepy.
Yeah, that's a villain. That is an evildoer. But yeah, so
bro.
Green, how you feeling about it? How you feeling about Monster?
Okay, so for context, this is my second Urasawa work. I read Pluto before, and I'm a little bit more nervous to like commit to really, really digging it and like really getting sucked in, because that's what I do with Pluto, right? When I tell you the setup for Pluto is just as raw, like the mystery like is so interwoven, and it's like really cool finding out about all this like other lore, and it's this really like intricate mystery. The ending soured my grapes, to put it lightly, right?
Interesting.
It is like almost by legal.
Don't spoil.
No,
because I may still read Pluto in the future.
Yeah. And I think you still should, right? But like that ending is like I'd legally consider it. I would legally consider it satisfying. Like. Interesting.
Like the personal satisfaction ain't there.
Yeah.
Like it is structurally good, basically. Is that the idea?
Like it is like if you were to have some kind of like media lawyer look at that and just kind of like go about it and be like. Make a case where it'd be like, sir, my client has addressed these like bullet points in X, Y, and Z, and done so in a way that like wraps up technically everything they set up. Therefore, my client is innocent. But it doesn't hit that like nerve, you know. It's It doesn't feel like damn, it ended. Right. And I'm like happy and sad that it ended. Exactly. Yeah. It was just like, oh, huh. Cool. Yeah. And that's okay. Yeah, but like the problem is, the rest of the series was this like, huh? Wait, what? This is so cool. I gotta read the next one. And then just for it to like, was heartbreaking to me, right? Yeah. Now with Monster, I'm going in, with that in mind, and I'm like, all right, this is some great Urasawa setup, right? I'm getting a lot of similar. Whoa.
Damn, bro. God said you will like this series. All right.
What
That's
the?
crazy, bro.
Y'all hear that? Oh my god, my heart's out.
Is that lightning?
Yes. Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah, bro. Tread
dude.
lightly.
No, hold
God
on.
might
Dude.
smite you if you're not careful.
My monitor went off. Like when the lightning hit, my monitors went black.
Yeah, bro. God don't play.
Ooh. Okay. I might have to leave in a couple minutes to change my underpants, but aside from that, bro. Fucking hell. Aside from that, I'm waiting, sort of with a bated breath, for Monster to kind of like satisfy this thing that I felt wasn't there with Pluto. So right now I'm on the train. I'm in my seat. I'm locked in. But I need to see how he like wraps it up. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm really fucking with all the characters and the storylines and Johan especially. But like I said, I don't want to get myself too excited just in case.
Nah, bro, you got to give everything to you got to approach this manga as its own work, bro. You coming into it with a spoiled mindset, bro. Come into it. Urasawa didn't even make Pluto, right? You don't even need to focus on Pluto. It's just you and Monster.
I mean, he did make Pluto, but sure.
I mean, yeah, Jesus, bro. Anyways, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm excited. I want to see Johan, which obviously we'll get in the future. But yeah, so far I'm liking everything's unfolding. I feel like Tenma's character is being built up. And one thing that I find interesting, I guess, is like when Monsters talked about, right, like generally speaking, is like a really good series with like, really good this, that, and the third. The only character that I think it gets brought up, at least in discussions that I've been subjected to, is that like Johan is peak antagonist, Johan is this, Johan is that, blah blah blah. But nobody really ever talks about Tenma, at least in what I've seen. Even one of the chats was like Johan, Griffith, Aizen greater than every other villain, right? And I'm like, sure, an antagonist can often be like significantly better than the protagonist. It happens all the time in anime and manga, right? Like that in and of itself is not a crazy concept. I just find it so interesting, like how little I hear people discuss Tenma when it comes to like Monsters, a series. I guess particularly because so far Tenma has been the focal point. Like it hasn't been like Johan is the antagonist, but he gets most of the screen time yet. For me, right?
No, he hasn't.
It's just been like, yeah, he hasn't been present. He's been this like looming, sort of like vague threat, and I like it like that. Like it's interesting, right?
Yeah,
I'm not complaining, but it's just it's so curious that like Johan gets all this focus and all this praise, and like I would say he almost single-handedly is the reason Monster is so critically acclaimed. But it's like from my perspective so far, Tenma is
he's
the end all be all. Yeah, like he's the end. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Actually, I'll kind of go backwards because there's less to say about Johan than there is about Tenma. So I'll start with Johan, right? Honestly, I kind of dig his relationship with Tenma. The whole like you saved my life thing. The pattern he has with childless couples. His origins with the orphanage. Like all this stuff is like this really interesting sort of interwoven mystery about not just like why Johan does what he does, but like how he got that way, right? I think it's
he human is also another thing.
Dude,
that's like
that is so crazy because like he's committing objectively like normal crimes, right? Like normal in like a very stretched definition, but normal
in like a very like a human a human has committed these crimes before.
But the way they talk about him is like they're describing some kind of demon. Like I remember this one guy was like it was the cop that got addicted to heroin that like aided and abetted killing Johan's twin sister's foster parents. And he was like, no, that guy's a monster, and everybody describes him that way, and I'm like, dog, what is going on?
Yeah, so one thing that's interesting, right? One thing that I actually like made sure to try to take note of is like Tenma's like he's talking to one of the criminals, like one of the like the the terrorists that he like he attempts to heal, right? And the guy asks him, he's like, why would you heal me, right? Like why would you save my life? And he's like, because I believe that you are human.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I find so interesting, right? That like up until this point, Tenma has like it isn't just because it's not because you're a person, it's not because you're alive. It's like specifically because you're human,
Human, yeah.
right? And Johan has been described as something that's like otherworldly, that's inhuman, that's like not a person in the like regular sense.
Hmm.
So I just like the way that Urasawa has been building up this like kind of like this background conflict of not only is Tenma just trying to catch Johan in the sense that like, oh my god, you are a murderer. You need to be stopped. I want to save people type of thing.
Hmm.
But it's also like Johan Tenma can really, I feel like, only handle Johan two ways. He either has to agree with the sentiment, right?
Hmm.
That Johan is indeed not human,
And he has
right?
to
And
like,
he's like,
yeah.
this is the you have to be stopped, or he has to disagree with it and basically be of the belief that like there is no real action that a human being can commit that disqualifies them from still being a human being. Like you can be a bad one, you can be a good one, but no matter what, those are only like qualitative descriptions of you being human. And I really like, I don't know which one it's going to be, but I do really enjoy that like I really do like the fact that that is kind of just building up in the background, and it's just like a very like not small detail. You can pick up on it, you can notice it, but it's not like made this. Oh my God, is Johan human? Is Johan human? Is Johan like? It's just it's a way people would normally talk. Like you can describe a person in everyday life that's bad as a monster, right? You could describe like real criminals depending on what crimes they commit as like, oh my God, that's like I can't even believe a human would do that, and it's just like they're using or like Urasawa was using that to just narratively build up Johan and Tenma's conflict. I'm really enjoying that, to be honest.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm also
Uh,
really loving the effect that Johan, Johan's revelation has had on Tenma, in regard to like,
mhm,
so he gets chief of medicine
mhm,
because of Johan killing the doctor and
yep.
those two others, right?
Mhm,
And he's riding that high for 9 years. But he's like being a good doctor, right?
yeah.
He's deserving of his position, right? But the merit of it, right? The luck, the whatever you want to call it, the fortune granted to
Mhm,
him by this act of Johan, once he is made aware of like what Johan did to give him that, it
mhm.
almost
It's
taints it.
immediately
Yeah.
soured. Yeah.
And
Because like
yeah.
the lives you are saving are built on the lives that were taken by someone you saved. And I'm really curious how Tenma's like because Tenma kind of I feel like is like and forgive me for bringing this back to JJK chat, but it's like I feel like how like one of the conflicts for Megami is or one of the conflicts Megami and Yuji have is like what happens if a person you save goes on and kills somebody, right? And that's like a big thing for Yuji's character
I also
arc.
thought of that, yeah.
I'm I'm very curious, right? Like we know Yuji's answer, right? We know Yuji's answer. We're kind of like we've seen a lot of it, but I'm very genuinely curious if Tenma will make a very utilitarian decision or if he's going to make a very I won't say naive, I'll just say like very innocent, very
Human.
optimistic, yeah, very human, very
Hmm.
like it doesn't like I can't control that. All I can do is try to save as many people and be as good as humanly possible. So that's definitely like I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes, and I'm very interested to see how Johan because Johan's so interesting for a character who's literally not here.
Yeah.
He's
Also,
so interesting for a
dude, I love that
character
even
that's not
in
here.
universe, the reporter was like, "Dog, what is this story that you're telling me? He's
Yeah,
12 years old and he's already got like, huh? Like, what do you?
yeah. What do you? Come on,
Yeah."
bro. Let's be honest.
And then I think
Um,
it only gets more ridiculous slash terrifying, with that guy who used to be like the headmaster of the 511 orphanage. You know,
mhm.
with
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dude, he was glazing Johan, like,
And bro, like the
dude,
way he's describing, I'm like, okay, like, but for real, like he's insane. Not in. It's crazy because I even describing him as insane feels weird.
like that
It's
guy is
not.
insane. See, that guy, like I
That
define
guy's
as
insane.
insane,
Johan feels very, very,
purposefully like that.
very, very
Yeah.
purposefully like that. Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, dude, that guy, like, recounting that story, you're like, oh no, he's crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is just like he's
It's an
psychotic. Yeah,
obsession with evil, right?
yeah, he's
Um,
like an evil fanboy,
yeah.
but Johan
And
is evil almost.
yeah, like he is he is like a physical representation almost. I will say this, like, and this might land like, so I was trying to think of like, okay, if he's not insane, but I wouldn't consider him sane. Like, you're a comic reader, so I'm sure you've heard of like the Joker super
Insanity,
sane kind of
yes,
thing.
yes, yes.
I'm not saying I'm a big fan of the terminology or whatever, but it does kind of remind me of that. Like, no. You're very well aware of what you're doing. You are very calculated. You are very intentional. You are very like aware. You know the ramifications of your actions.
And
You
you do
know
it
that what you're
anyway.
doing hurts people, and you do it anyway because you can and you want to. And it's like something about that is interesting, and I'm kind of curious where Johan's character is gonna go from here on
Yeah,
out.
there are some like big questions that I want answered as far as Johan is concerned. The biggest one
Mm-hmm.
by far is why did he just let Tenma go in the parking lot? You know, like he knows who
Because he
he is.
saved him.
Yeah, no, but like immediately he does. He just goes to the police. He's like, hey, this, and this happened, and you think maybe okay, maybe because like Johan knows it's a fake name. Nobody, literally nobody would ever believe this story. And
Mm-hmm.
as you find more stuff out, you realize, oh yeah, no, I wouldn't believe this story. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't believe it unless it was literally unfurling in front of me.
I here's the problem, right? I would never want to take a gamble like that because the story is like, it's so ridiculously like unsettling. I'm like, look, bro, I don't want to know if you're right. like,
Yeah,
like you be right or wrong away from me
yeah,
because
yeah,
that dude,
exactly.
that reporter, he questioned it, but he got close.
Yeah, he got close. He got the like he was, and I mean, and he died for it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Um, but real
Yeah.
quick, I just saw a chat, and there's a bunch of super chats I want to
Yeah.
quickly catch up on. So Holofy Tensa Zengetsu, thank you for the 2. Have you known about Decadence Dimension W? Is that a manga? That could only be a manga with how the name sounds. Nah, but if it is a manga or anime or something like that, no. Um, let's see. Next up, Angel of Access, thank you for the 2. This is in reference to the lightning. God said you should read the Bible now.
Dude, Bible
Yeah,
Honored One's book club? Hmm?
yeah,
Damn, dude,
yeah.
what'd you think of Revelations 34:1?
Jesus, Bible book club would be. God, listen, I would have some jokes, bro, but I'm like that doesn't feel like I can make those. But yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Dante Jones, thank you for the 5. Ronan, I took your recommendation, read Sakamoto Days. Can I just say peak fiction? W. Wanted to ask, does Johan from Monster remind you of Sakamoto Day X?
oh, X and kinda, kinda. The vibe, I could ascertain a similar vibe. Johan just feels like he's definitely like a more obviously gruesome version, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like he like Urasawa is intentionally trying to like make the sort of like monstrous, I guess, intentions behind his actions more blatant for the audience to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also,
Bradford Richardson, real quick. Thank you for the 2. This thunder is insane, Kreams. I know. Oh damn, bro.
tell me about
He's
it.
he's going through it with you. That's crazy.
Dude, the reverb from that sound was like, I felt that shit like in my chest.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think overall thoughts on Monster, I'm really like I'm locked in.
Mhm.
Some quick thoughts, like some quick fire thoughts on other like minor characters.
Mhm.
Tenma's ex fiance. Okay,
Oh
so
God.
there's layers to it, right? When she first appeared and she seemed to be affectionate towards Tenma, I'm like, damn, dude, she's ending up in a box. That's crazy. Like Urasawa just spoiling that like off rip is so wild, right? And then you find out she's like not a good person, and you're like, damn, I can't believe she's gonna survive in the end. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Listen, my layers are I hate you. Those are the layers I got for this lady, bro. She is
She's something.
just a bona fide bad
She's
person.
a hater,
Like
dude. Like she was like, "Oh, you don't want me back? Fuck you then. I'll send you to
I'll
jail."
get you arrested.
And then
Yeah.
she dogs the detective. She's like, "Hey."
Yeah, hurry up, do some like get on this, bro. What are you, a bum, a loser? Um, yeah, I like the detective character. He to me feels like Johan, but like
On the side
not
of
for
angels.
not for,
Yeah.
but it's like not for justice. It's like he
He
feels to like he comes off as like he just wants to solve a
a crime.
crime
Yeah.
because it's interesting,
Yeah.
right?
I
Like
will say.
I could I could see this character being like one of the big inspirations for like L from Death Note or something
Yeah,
like
because
that. Like
he's like psychotically obsessed with like solving
yeah.
cases. Like I remember this one scene where he was like, his wife and daughter left him.
Yep. And he was just like, "Cool, I'll hear about it later. I gotta go."
Yeah, like he just took a phone
I'm
call.
like,
Like his phone rang.
yeah,
Oh, it's a call from work. See you later.
yeah,
What?
yeah. And then like the way he types in like the data and pulls it up. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know you. I talked to
Oh,
you 9 years ago.
dude,
4 minutes past.
the
Like yeah." I was like,
funniest
"What?
part.
Hello?"
The funniest part is that he does all of this and he's still wrong about the case. He's just like, yeah, this Johan guy is a figment of Tenma's imagination and blah blah blah. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, two things, right? If he's right, he is literally the greatest detective in fiction. There is no other way. Like out of everything he's seen and heard, right? Like the same information like we have seen and heard as the audience, there is no conceivable way to come to that conclusion unless there is like like that detective exposition better hit, dude. He has to say some shit
Yeah.
like, I realized 5 seconds after our last interaction that Johan was a figment of your imagination because there was no twin that day or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Mhm.
Johan puts him in a box.
Or Johan puts him in a box. Yeah, I like his character. He seems interesting. It's like two very like inhuman type characters sandwiching in Tenma as like a not a normal guy because I think his optimism is beyond like rationality. But I do think that it's interesting to see that kind of like two very cynical, very like calculated sort of forces both not necessarily opposing, well kind of opposing like Tenma and his goals. So I like that. Um, but
Ugh.
yeah,
Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of,
I'm enjoying it so
yeah,
far. I'm having fun.
same here. Oh,
I'm excited to keep reading this week.
real quick, this is a question, little Easter egg for you guys here. As
Mhm.
you all know, BR and I have shot two versions of the manga art tier list,
Oh
and
Jesus.
both of them are nice, right? They're
Hmm.
not even really lost episodes; they're just out there.
Unedited.
Yeah. And one of the things that we got to was ranking Urasawa's art, and BR never really read Urasawa. So,
Hmm.
and I'd read Pluto up until that point, right? So I was really trying to convince this guy that Urasawa can, in fact, draw. So I'm curious, now that you've, read 25 odd chapters of Monster, how you feel about his art.
Urasawa's art is pretty good. It's pretty uncanny. I will say
Mm-hmm.
he's very good at making like uncanny style art. Like his characters look they're not realistic,
But they're,
right? But
yeah,
there are certain elements about them that are real and that are disturbing because the rest of them isn't.
it's like
Um
his environments are almost hyper real, but his characters are like
They're semi.
grounded.
They're
Yeah.
yeah. They're real. Like if you take like a bunch of different manga art styles, they are real. They are probably going to be on the upper echelon of realistic, but it's not bordering on like vagabond, right?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't look at this and be like, oh, you were trying to recreate life verbatim, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is. You could tell that he's like trying to capture the human expression and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, and I think he's pretty good at it. I like it quite a bit. I would say a lot of what maybe makes his art interesting more than anything, like more than like
The paneling.
necessarily just the drawings. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the paneling and it's
Yeah.
the framing, it's the composition. That it I wouldn't really be able to put it into words very well, but something about the way he'll make you read the manga into like this conclusion is like, oh Jesus,
I didn't even. Yeah.
you strung me along forcibly to come to the same conclusion as you, and you did it really well, like with me only noticing
Mm-hmm.
it after the fact, like after trying to like intentionally understand why I got here.
So it's funny.
um
The way I describe Urasawa's like art and paneling is sort of like he draws as if he's directing a detective noir. Like
yeah,
it's
I would
yeah,
say that's probably a really good way to put it.
because all the
um
compositions are like, and the beats they hit those sort of like crime like mystery
yeah.
movies.
Mhm.
It's this tone where you could almost like sometimes if the art is really good, I can almost hear like the LA noir theme in the background.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, Augie was telling me on Twitter to like when next time I pick up Monster to read it with like the OSTs in the background. I'm sure that's probably gonna elevate my experience. I like reading with music, so I'm gonna
Mm.
probably throw those on in the background. But yeah, I do think Urasawa's art is pretty good. This is like a thing I've mentioned because there's video I'm making where manga art is kind of like a pretty prominent topic. And a way I would describe certain artists is like you're good not because of how you draw something, but because of what you choose to draw. Like, I don't know if that makes sense necessarily.
Do you have an example?
Just on it's like let's see. So so it's like choices of like certain expressions to keep. Or like I don't know if you remember it's just a panel I have saved, right? But it's just like where Tenma's really he's in his scrubs, right, walking away from somebody, and he's like he kind of just turns around, and you can see the moment in which he decides that he can no longer just be a doctor, and he has to find Johan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like nothing about the page stands out as like this particularly picturesque scene, but it's just Urasawa deciding that that expression was absolutely necessary to convey in the way that it is that makes him so like impressive as an artist.
He literally pulled like a classic director show don't tell.
Yep.
Like it was like, yeah, I'm just gonna let my character's face do the scenes. Like I'm good enough to convey that as a drawing. And you know what? He's right. My favorite one is how he expresses shock. It's this very like, it's light in the middle, and it's like a sort of gradual, like shading or like almost like shadowing as you get further from the center, where it feels like his characters like have a spotlight directly pointed in front of them.
Yeah. I definitely am enjoying. I'm enjoying what I'm reading so far. From basically all ends. Yeah, I'm having fun.
Same here.
Yeah. So that's Monster. I gotta say, I like not to disparage all our other book clubs. I think I like reading the series at the same time. Like I think it adds a level of conversation that probably wouldn't naturally come from like one of us knowing the other ones. Like I'm kind of liking this.
True. I will say the upside of doing it the previous way, because I agree with you. This is more engaging, like for you and me as far as the conversation goes. And I think for chat, it did get us to like finish up some homework that you and I just kept putting off. Like for you it was Breaking Bad, for me it was like Hell's Paradise.
Yeah, for sure.
We were just like, yeah, I'll get around to it. So like,
I know, I do agree. It definitely had its uses for sure. But yeah, so overall pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to keep reading. And update you guys next week. But yeah, let's talk. I think quickly before we get into the JJK chapter, did you want to talk about Blue Luck real quick? We usually don't go too deep into it, but I mean, we do kind of talk about it whenever a chapter comes out.
So, great chapters. I think we also didn't talk about last chapter that dropped, so I'll just roll that into the conversation.
Yeah.
Look, Noah calling Snuffy the best player in the world was not on my bingo card, but I was so happy.
I know you're excited about that.
Yep. Dude,
that's
was on
a crazy
cloud
cosign.
nine. Yeah, that's a crazy cosign, because like we knew Snuffy was like world class, right? Because he had to be. But him being that good was wild.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. When he got off the pass, when Noah and Isagi was pressing him, I was like, you are a little better than my calculation said you would be, bro.
Like
you're a little different.
Yeah, your resume didn't do you justice. I feel like you left some stuff out.
Yeah, because I'm like, I thought you would be a little bit slower, a little bit weaker, because all of that partying and stuff. But no, you're just different. Okay, cool. One thing I will say, Barou's a bum, bro.
Literally.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, I was so mad, dog. I was so mad. I was like, dog, pass the fuck. I never want to hear this guy say, "No, I'm the king." Pass the ball. Pass that shit. Like, pass it. There's no way you're calling yourself the best striker on the planet and you're missing 2 shots in a row with like the king of gameplays. Like, huh?
Bro. This is what really threw me, right? This is what really threw me. So 2 things actually, right? The first is that when he got his first shot blocked, he was using Predator Eye, right? And I read it at first and I was like, damn, let's go. But the fact that both Kaiser and Isagi perfectly read him, crazy already. I looked at Isagi's eyes, right? I was doing I was like, because I know Barou's a cool character, but I like slandering him because it's funny, right? So I was like, I was trying to get on my slander shit, and I was like, let's see what I can have. Isagi's not in metavision when he blocks it.
That's hilarious.
He's not using metavision, bro.
Dog.
Dude, Barou's a goober. He kind of is trash,
dude,
bro.
Like a couple revelations hit me this chapter, right? Let's start with Barou real quick, right? the fact that if this team was not suited specifically to set up Barou in front of the goal, they would never win.
I told you.
They would
Listen,
never win.
People were calling me insane, bro. I'm telling you, that hat trick is because the team literally structured around him, bro. Barou is actually not that good.
He's really, dude, he is not world class.
I'm telling you, bro, because he's not him. He's just not. Dude, listen, he may get an awakening later, blah, 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 but right now he's not him.
Dude, not even with Snuffy helping him like this, I'm absolutely sick. Because, like, Snuffy's plans are, like, perfect, right? The weakness is Barou. Literally. Like,
the weakness is literally, if you're not Snuffy, you're the detriment here. And Barou is just so... What? Bro, dude, what?
I was pulling my hair out damn near because, dude, the disappointment in Snuffy's eyes when, like, the second or third shot.
He's like, damn, it just didn't go in.
Well, like, plan C, listen, I guess, but, like, Barou, what's going on,
Barou
man?
is so garbage, right? He's so bad that Kaiser and Isagi calling him shit. That they worked together to beat his dumbass. Like, what? They both got
JJK
there.
Jumping in soccer, dude. How are you doing that?
Yeah, bro. And then the thing is, Snuffy's like, okay, that's fine. We'll run it back, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. And then he just gets it stolen again. You're garbage. Get out of my game.
This is how I know. This is how I know Snuffy was not the problem. This guy, I'm going to say it right now, I'm officially, like, codifying it. He is objectively the best coach. There is no other way for this team to like function with the build that they have without Snuffy, right? Because Snuffy, he could whip up pretty much any other team into shape, right?
I agree.
But dude, the fact that the Ubers are not only okay, I'm gonna take it beat by beat, right? Mm-hmm. One, Noah being like, I don't know what to do. run out the clock. You got me, dude. Like,
yeah, bro. I mean, here's the thing, right? Mm-hmm. So first of all, Sleepy Nature, thank you for the 14. Kunigami over Bar, time to face the truth. Listen, Kreams may hate that, right? Because he's a Kunigami hater. But listen, I said this, like, Kreams, you remember the conversation. You make Kunigami, you give him the team that Barou's on, he's doing the same shit. Because Barou is, bro, he's, okay. You know how we make fun of that, like, one of Isagi's friends for calling that, like, U20 game, like, that last goal a gimme goal, right? Yeah. All of Barou's goals are actually gimme goals.
Literally, they are given to him, like, intentionally.
Like, here you go, right in front of the goal with nobody in front of you. Shoot. Bro. Like, yeah, Barou, I'd hope you're able to score. But as soon as the pressure is on. The heat gets turned up a little bit. He folds.
Dude, and the best part is, both the only two people that have had true awakenings on his team that have metavision are defenders.
Defenders.
Oh my god.
You're a loser, Barou. You're a loser.
I think I audibly said, you fucking donkey. Like, when I was reading the chapter, I was so mad.
Listen, bro, I can't wait for Isagi to grab Barou and be like, what the... Bro, I was supposed to devour you on the field. You're not even worth beating.
Dude, I'm like...
What are we doing here?
I had this thought. I was like, Barou, just foul him. Just punch him in the face, get Isagi off of there, because, like, honestly, you might be holding your team back on this one, bud. Because, like...
Yeah. Listen, bro, people with Barou socks are in the mud right now, bro. Y'all are really not feeling the success. Y'all saw Barou score one time and said, oh my god, he's different. How are you gonna listen, bro, Kaiser used, like, something equivalent to Predator Eye better than Barou. What are we doing? What are we doing, bro? Like, okay, when you just compare the goals, right? Isagi stole Barou's pass, then said, Corona, me and you, we're going to 2v11. And then he 2v12, because Ness's dumbass wanted to like to attack him, right? And Isagi said, okay, I'll just kick with my other leg. Barou gets some bro,
nothing.
Here's the thing.
Nothing in the tank, like, nothing in reserve.
The time he scored, Isagi wasn't there. Isagi wouldn't let that... He literally would not have let that slide. Dog. He literally would not have let that slide.
Isagi and Kaiser were on him. Like...
Oh my god, dude. Bro. How are you going to get called shit twice in one pass?
It is you have the Mount Rushmore of strikers on this field right now, and Barou isn't touching any of them.
Barou is god, bro. And people are saying he'll turn up later in the game. Sure, man. I don't doubt that he will. Like, that's not the problem. I'm just saying he's a loser right now. Like, he dyed his hair for this match. He thought he came into it like he was that guy. He has $100 million valuation, bro. Like, excuse me for expecting him to play like he's literally the best blue locker.
And the worst part is he has like the best soccer player in history teaching him, and the guy is also like the best coach ever, and he still fails. It's like, dog.
The team, it's crazy because when you think about the accomplishments, right? Isagi is fighting his team. Barou's team is fighting for him. Are we? Oh, okay. Chat, I'm gonna ask you this, right? For all the Barou defenders in here, put Kaiser as an Put Kaiser on Barou's team. No, I'm gonna say this differently. If you swap Isagi and Barou, be honest with me. Are we really saying Barou scores at all, ever? With Kaiser trying to stop him from scoring. Are we serious right now?
The thought of a Snuffy-trained Isagi is unfair. The guy, like, he would mold Isagi into like, the best player in the world in a month.
Bro,
oh my God.
I'm telling you, if you put Barou on Bastard Munchin, he's literally not playing.
He's never touching the ball.
Warmer.
He is never touching the ball.
Bench warmer.
He will... You know that coat that they have to put on, like, while they're warming the bench?
Yeah, bro.
Right? Bro, he's never taken that off. He might as well wear it home.
Yeah, bro. Come on now.
Bro, I was so mad.
Come on now, bro.
I was so mad.
We'd see Barou go through a different evolution. He literally wouldn't get to play. He's not... What? Okay, listen. Chat. I'm going to ask you this, right? Give me one skill set, one trait that Barou has that someone else on the team doesn't, because he can't pass well. He's unwilling to pass.
Yep.
And in terms of straight up scoring ability, Kaiser is objectively better than him by several times, right? With Isagi,
the best part.
What are we doing?
The best part is that Barou, being as uncooperative as he is, right, is to his detriment on any team that's not Bastard Munchin, because they don't give a shit. We're like, okay, we're good enough to do it on our own. Fuck you then. Dude, that seat looks cold. Take care of it.
Literally getting cooked, bro. I'm telling you, listen, bro. Here's the thing. How are you gonna be like Kunigami, but like without any of the... You can't even kick with both feet, bro. You're not even ambidextrous. What are we doing?
God.
What are we doing, bro? Listen, he's going to be sitting with Igaguri on the bench.
Yep. You know, I just want to say, right, can we just... I want to address the Snuffy of it all just really quickly, because you got, like, a proper breakdown of his soccer abilities this chapter. Busted. Insane. Like Isagi was like...
I just exist to amp everybody else on the field.
Like, bro,
I'm sorry?
Isagi was like, okay, it's not that I can't read this guy, it's that, like... I'm like...
It's its entire team. Yeah.
Like, it's sort of like I'm trying to outsmart a supercomputer here.
And you know what's interesting? I feel like Isagi and Sai are very, like, lower... Sai particularly is kind of like a floor raiser in that sense as well. Where, like, you know, he's a proper midfielder, and he kind of does... I think Snuffy is, like, just that taken to its extreme. And to be honest, Isagi could do that if he wasn't so focused on being a striker. Like, Isagi has the tools for that, but he's like, no, bro, I want to score, which, respect. But it's so interesting that he's just like, yeah, bro, he literally... What kind of brain does he have in there to be like, I'm literally here to make sure that all of you function at the absolute max?
Dog, and for him to succeed, like, dude, the aggressive, like, I felt like I was like, damn, if I'm Bastard Munchin, I can't let up for a millisecond because they're scoring. Like, it felt like an onslaught, right? Yeah. And then Noel Noah just flat out confirming Snuffy is that guy. You're like, oh yeah.
He's like, listen, as a striker, I'm better, right?
Yeah.
He's like, as a striker, I'm better, bro. But like, we're talking overall soccer player. Yeah, no, this guy's better than me. He's actually the best in the world.
Yeah. Huh? Like it was like, yeah, Isagi, like, this, not happening. Me, maybe. Him, nah. Forget it. Run out the clock, bro.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, Snuffy. Okay, do you agree with me? Snuffy, peak coach.
Yeah, probably. The only person I would say is like a better talent developer, like in all of Blue Lock, not including just the Masters. I would say Iga is still my GOAT in terms of like talent development. But I think out of the Masters we've seen, Loki better be God, bro. Because the way Snuffy made Barou not the fucking water boy should be studied.
Yep. The fact that Barou was able to score any goal, let alone get to 100 million, it is a testament to Snuffy's ability as a coach, as a playmaker. Because there is. I'm gonna lose my mind, man.
Yeah, but
Like,
Barou's not him. Anyways, like we could have literally left it at that, but I wanted to go in depth,
yeah,
bro.
because like that felt like personal. You know, it felt like a dissection of Barou as a footballer and as a character, right? It was like a nah, not you, never.
Cause like, oh god, bro, how you gonna have? You're literally bad.
And it's like, bro, like at the end, right? Isagi goes to Raichi and he's like, "Yo, are you ready to die?" Also, insane, just wild
Dude,
opener.
listen, I love that. Like, I know that it's like a meme, like how edgy it is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I just fucking love it. I love the way these characters talk, man. It's so blue lock. Are you willing to die? Yes. What are we doing? Raichi's just so mad to be called by his. He just gets called, and Raichi looks like he wants to kill him.
Dude,
Like,
if I'm Raichi, I get it. Like bro's been bench. Let this man touch the ball just once. I want to see what he can do.
yeah.
God.
Rayo could replace Barou.
I saw, actually, I think we missed some super chats. I think you read the first one from Sleeping Danger.
Yeah, another Sleeping Danger for 14. Imagine if Snuffy had Nagi at his disposal.
Yeah,
that'd be bad. Oh, Caliber X4. Thank you for the 5. This is I think this is a reference when I was talking about Monster, but it was illustration skill versus composition. Is that what you mean? And that is exactly what I mean. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
Dude, so my guess, just to put out a little pet theory, he's gonna either tell Raichi, because he's basically, I think he's gonna tell Raichi, no matter what, stick to either Barou or Snuffy. Like, have indiscriminate coverage of those two. Because with Snuffy, that's where the plays always start. With Barou, that's where the plays seemingly always end, right?
Yep.
So if you completely cap one of those guys off, you don't win, but you do severely handicap like all of their possibilities, that's why I imagine keeping up with Barou or Snuffy an entire game, or like even for several minutes at a time, is probably extremely exhausting, which is why he like phrases it like that. That'd be my guess.
Dude,
I hate that bum Raichi. Listen, bro, you about to keep hating because he's showing up. Listen, all I'm saying is Raichi in Hiyori development is something I'm very excited for. It's like one of the low-key things I'm excited for in this match. I'm looking forward to it.
I want to see how much longer they're gonna do this match, because like I think it's what, 10 chapters, 12 chapters now.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Listen, the last like match I think was like 30 to 40.
Oh my god, yeah. So we're really like locked in here. But still,
I mean,
I feel like this is a good phase in the.
I'm loving Blue Lock, bro. Dude. Like, and I'm a like a certified Blue Lock just supporter, bro. I'm gonna be real. Like, there's not much that the author and artist combo could do here that I wouldn't enjoy. But I'm just loving where Blue Lock's at right now. It's really fun.
You know what, bro? On some meathead shit. I love when the masters like start playing, because that shit is raw. You know, like Noah, Snuffy, like even Chris, like they touch the pitch, and you're like, let's go. We just kicked it up a notch, and and man, they did not disappoint.
Yeah, Noah being like, just be patient and wait for him to leave was interesting, because I'm like, that feels like that's kind of fun, but it's like literally just don't play him. I'm like, no, Isagi doesn't want that, bro. Isagi literally wants the smoke, because he's like, no. He, as soon as he heard that, he said no. It can probably surpass Snuffy with this key piece. I'm like, he just told you to literally wait him out, and you said, no. I wouldn't be the best in the world if I did that.
Look, honestly, I want Isagi to fail with this plan, just so like you could really understand how good Noah is. It just, yeah, bro. Like I didn't say that to like fuck with you, right? Like they didn't come out of you almost feel like Isagi's like, yeah, he's just doing that because he doesn't think I'm good enough. But like, he's not. He doesn't mean it like in a negative way. You are simply not. You know, like not on some like disrespectful shit. You're just not there yet. You know, like relax.
Yeah, but yeah, I think so. I think this is where like Isagi's foresight is going to come into play here, because you know, as we saw last time, right? Even Noah's like susceptible to Isagi's like meta vision, right? He's like, even the number one striker is being used, blah 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 blah. So I'm very interested to see like if Isagi is able to come to a conclusion that like Noah can't, even when given the same amount of information. I would like to see.
Yeah.
I like having Isagi be like, "Listen, I'm not better than you individually yet. Unfortunately, I can't just fucking body you. However, I can see really good, and I also know how these players play."
Not only
Yeah.
that, but like I'm it's not that I want to see Isagi get humbled necessarily. It's more like I want to see if if there's like a material difference between the tactics that Snuffy uses and Metavision as like
Mm,
as a thing, as a skill, because it just seems like what Isagi's trying to do is like he reads the future of like the ball or the play or whatever that's in front of him, right? But with Snuffy's
mhm.
plays, it almost feels like he's trying to read every possible, like he's trying to use the Almighty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, damn, bro, it could be any one of these six things. My brain hurts.
Yeah, to me it feels like a support Metavision versus like Isagi typically kind of uses it in like an exclusively individual attack or
Mm-hmm.
like a defensive position.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but yeah, uh,
Overall,
I would
solid 10 out of 10 for me.
yeah. This
With a
is
lot
a
of
10 out of
chapters,
10
yeah.
for me too. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick before we move on.
Cool, cool.
So I'll let you handle chat, but I'll be right back.
Cool. Sleeping Ninja, thank you for the 14. Who's winning this match, Bastard Munchin or the Ubers? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably gonna be the Ubers, just because depending on the length of this match, I think we still have like another 10 chapters to go. I figure the Bastard Munchin has like one or two more like quote unquote failures or setbacks, and then the Ubers will like have some kind of reprieve, at least tie the score, and then maybe Asagi or Hiyori will have like another awakening, and then win the match ultimately because of like a chemical reaction they make. That being said, what I want to see more than the result of this match, truly, is kind of like the post-game breakdown of everybody's role, like for both teams, right? For Bastard Munchin, I want Noah to be like, all right, guys, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. You need to get along at least sort of okay, right? Just a little bit. Just enough so we can play soccer like normal people, right? Because I feel like we've been skating by the seat of our pants this entire time, but like we have other people, like I don't know, have more than two guys supporting you. But that's just me, personally, right? As Noel Noah, the greatest striker in the world. This is just my opinion, right? And for the Ubers, it's like Snuffy patiently and calmly going to Barou and being like, hey, Barou, don't take this the wrong way. You know, man to man, I love you like a son. What is your issue? Like, what is your problem? Are you scared of the goal? Is the goalie like did he like threaten to kill you before the match? Are you scared of the soccer of the ball itself? Like, what's going on? You want to talk about it? We can send a sports psychiatrist. Did Scarecrow hit you with his fear toxin? Right? I know he's fictional, but like maybe that's a theory, right? Actually, you know what, Barou? Can you just pee in this cup real quick? I just need to make sure, right? Just humor me. I know. Just I need to know, right? I just want to know why you can't seem to play soccer anymore, just man to man. What's going on? Y'all are just baiting me with this One Piece YouTuber stuff, but God, real life actually that's an interesting point. I did sort of feel that way a little bit. There's some like intermittent aspects of it, and I think that's why a couple episodes ago I was like, did Asagi already become the best player in the world with Metavision and all this? And now it seems like obviously that's crazy now in retrospect, but like it feels like more and more people might be having this in the background, at least more so than they were maybe 5-10 chapters ago. um I don't think so. I think he still has a long way to go, so a little bit maybe. I think you know what he needs like a couple more losses or a couple more like back and forths with other like players, like sort of, you know what he needs more moments like he did with Nagi where he just leaves him in the dust, right, moves past him. And I think his next goalpost is probably going to be Kaiser, and then probably Noah by the end. So that's what I think. Okay, let's see. This is why Barou is better in a team not focused on him. The whole point of his style is that he's unpredictable. When you make him the focus, he innately loses that aspect. I agree with you in spirit, but the problem is once Barou gets the ball, he's not passing it, especially if it's in a team that's not suited to him. He's going to be extra greedy, and you're just never going to win a match, right? Like he will just become a liability on the team. How do you feel about the YouTuber space regarding One Piece? I've spoken with my attorney, and he has advised me that I should not answer that. I want Isagi and Bakura on the same team again, dude. You just want Isagi to like blast through and win the World Cup right now, huh? It's funny. Um, NJW, what question are you talking about? Kreams, what's your opinion on the latest One Piece chapters? Oh, dude, the latest One Piece chapters have been fun. I mean, I know a lot of people are missing the Straw Hats, but I think these chapters are really really good, and it's nice to see some like out of Straw Hat universe stories. Kreams did admit to. I'm not reading that. Oh man, y'all are really trying to bait me. Oh, thank God, bro. They had the spotlight on me. They were really interrogating me about you know what.
Oh damn.
Yep. Anyway, I'm gonna tag out for the lavatory,
Okay.
and then we'll get into JJK.
Cool. Um. Cool. Let's see. Huh. Oh, damn, y'all really were just trying to bait him for a One Piece answer. That's funny. But yeah. Hooey. So let me ask you this before we get into the big JJK discussion in general. Who's winning? Do you think Gojo's gonna win, or are you right? Do you think Gojo's gonna win, or are you right? Let's see. So what Scream's got against One Piece YouTubers? Nothing. He likes One Piece YouTubers. He's a big fan of every single one. Yeah. Let's see. I'm curious, like, how you guys feel about Sukuna versus Gojo at this point. Well, I got Nagi or Barou. I'd prefer Nagi on my team. Yeah. Let's see. We will have to get into crack one day. Gojo 100%. Like, how is it even a discussion? Yeah, I'm kind of the same opinion. I think Sukuna. Sukuna is the right side of history. Bradford Richardson, thank you for the 2. Jesus. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but Kreams decided to so nicely leave his his background comp chase for me. But anyways, Bradford Richardson, thank you for the 2. Watch your since recorded vids. Oh damn, so you've been here for a while. Y'all ever read Air Gear? I've read like 20 chapters. It's pretty solid. To be completely honest, with you, I haven't continued it, not out of like dissatisfaction, but I just put it down one day, didn't pick it back up. You know how it goes. But yeah, it's good. I like the art a lot. It has like a very old school, but like pretty classically good style. So I think it's cool. Jaden, 3011, thank you for the 5. I think Gage is gonna do a funny and make it a tie and have everyone run after him Scooby Doo style. Hey, listen, bro. If he does, I'm gonna have to pay you your 5 back because that's a crazy guess. That's a crazy guess, bro. It's a crazy guess. Why would anyone think Gojo wins? Gojo and Megami's body die, and Sukuna switches out for his real body. Hey, listen, bro. I agree that Gojo loses. Let's hold off on the Megami stuff, all right? Let's hold off on the Megami stuff. But yeah. After this chapter, I'm convinced Kashimo's jumping in. Certified dog. Listen, bro. Y'all about to hear me get excited about Kashimo. And if you hate, my finger might just slip and you might be timed out, bro. So I don't know, I'm not saying anything for certain. I'm just saying possibly. If you're not on the Kashimo side of history, bro, you might not have a voice. I don't know, but yeah, I will be hyping up Kashimo when we start talking about the chapter. Yeah. I think a tie is way more likely than Gojo winning. I was more laughing at the Scooby Doo style of the donation, but yeah. In any case, I mean, what does a tie look like though? Especially with a character like Sukuna. Because Sukuna just basically said like to him losing is dying, right? So how do you have a character that just equates the idea of like failing to defeat an opponent as just death? How do you get that guy to be like, you know what? We're even. You know what I mean? I just don't really see it, to be completely honest. I imagine that like if Sukuna loses, he's going to die, and I would imagine that he has no interest in keeping Gojo alive either. But yeah. Anyways, Dex, thank you for the 5. It would be so funny if Sukuna kills Gojo and Kashimo fights Sukuna next and puts up a better fight than Gojo. Listen, bro, you gonna get cooked. You gonna get cooked, not by me, but you gonna get cooked for that. But I just want you to know, just between me and you, bro. Not only would it be funny, it would be peak fiction. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, anyways, that guy super. Thank you for the 2. Kashimo doesn't care who wins or loses. That's my goat. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. I like Kashimo as much as the next guy, but dog, what does he do against Malevolent Shrine? Listen, bro, he simply tanks it. Like, what you mean? He stands there and he doesn't let it hurt him.
I
Come on
am
now.
back. Let's do this. JJK time.
Yep.
We caught up on the super chats.
Yes, caught up on the super chats.
Cool. Okay, guys. So, Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 227. Now bringing
Another
Gege's...
Sukuna better chapter, bro.
We'll talk about it. You know, another chapter in which Gege is closer to hitting that 15 chapter minimum we talked about with Diavola last week, bro. I am so happy that this chapter was like another fight chapter, because I was not ready to see any sign of an ending, right? I was worried, you know, Gege takes a hiatus. He's going to come back and he's going to be like, time to wrap this up. 4 chapters. I'm getting a little wordy here in my old age. Nah. Love to see it. Now,
yeah.
Arguably the best part of like the fight chapter so far. I think this is the best fight chapter so far. Bold take.
Interesting.
I know. But here's my logic for it, right? The back and forth was perfect. Like for both fighters, right? Neither of them looked like weak, and neither of them looked overwhelmingly strong. And the fact that they both had to like constantly adapt and think on their feet and go outside of their usual repertoire, to me, was like excellence.
Interesting. Yeah, we interpreted this chapter quite a bit differently, so that'll be an interesting discussion. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is my favorite fighting chapter. I'd have to like, I don't know. It is really good. So I personally, and obviously we'll get into it, I think Sukuna is like very clearly the dominant one here. Like it feels like at every point in time during this fight that Gojo is trying to catch up. Like he's trying to overcome Sukuna being what I deem to be pretty casual. Like he opens another domain to try to counter Sukuna. Sukuna's like, okay, that breaks, right? Sukuna is able to take down his sure hit within the domain, and he's like, yeah, no, I'll just grab you and then break it. Cool. Gojo to me just comes off like very pressed and very experimental against a person who is not even scratching the surface, not even of just using like creativity in the way that Gojo is, but Sukuna hasn't even been pushed to use all of the basic versions of the abilities that he has, right? Like forget being creative with like your curse technique. Sukuna hasn't used all of his curse technique. It just feels like generally in this portrayal, it just feels like it's kind of like I will just say, right, from this chapter or from these like past few chapters, it doesn't feel like Sukuna is the challenger, would be like the most in-story way to put it, I guess. It feels like Sukuna is this threat, and Gojo is having to like change and grow in the face of this overwhelming ability.
Oh, I see. So what you mean is Gojo's acting like the challenger.
Yeah. Like Gojo, like it's like Sukuna to me has like he started at a 10, right, in terms of like difficulty to fight, and Gojo started at a 4. He went up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and like even if you think like their portrayal is pretty even, which I think is a fair interpretation, it just seems to me like Gojo was having to really push himself to be that way, right? Like he's changing his domain expansion in a way we've never seen before. He's using Symbol Domain. He's using Falling Blossom of Emotion. He's using a technique that he literally says he hasn't used since he mastered a domain. So like for over a decade, this has been completely unnecessary for Gojo. But he's pulling it out because it's necessary against Sukuna. He's doing all of these like very experimental things with the techniques that he has, right? He's using all of the abilities we've seen creatively, and I love that. Like it leads to a really good fight. But when you look at it, at least from my perspective, from like the point of view that Gojo is going beyond 100%, Sukuna hasn't hit 100 yet, right? Like if you look at like red, blue, purple, infinity, domain, right? In the most basic sense, that is Gojo's 100%. To me, Gojo is going beyond that when he like inverts his domain. He's going beyond that when he uses reverse curse technique, not to heal his body, but to heal his technique. He's going beyond that in certain instances in the fight. And Sukuna, once again, he's only been slashing. Like that's it.
Yeah, and I think you brought this up a couple episodes ago with you feel like if Sukuna uses Megami's technique, it's almost like giving Gojo confirmation that in the Heian era, Gojo would beat him, like beat 20 Finger Sukuna, like of his own abilities, right? I've been thinking about that as these chapters have been coming out, and there's a part of me that wants that to not only like be the case, but have it be an admission of defeat in its own way, right? Like if Sukuna's like, you know what, I'm gonna say it. Had this been me from the Heian era, had this been me with 20 fingers without this body, you would have beaten me. You are stronger than me, and I declare you the victor. But that's not me anymore.
Yeah. So I kind of agree, and kind of to me the best way to like keep Gojo's portrayal like as like not a fraud, right? Which I don't think either of them have been like fraudulent here. I think the best way to show that like both of these characters are on a different level, and this isn't the only way. I'm fine with Sukuna just outright beating Gojo without using all of his abilities. Trust me, I'm fine with that.
I'm not.
But I think an interesting way to do it would be, yeah, Sukuna's pushy, he's all of his abilities, and he's like, oh, I need the 10 shadows, right? Mm-hmm. That way it's like Sukuna still can win, which I think narratively he needs to do, but he also isn't like completely dominating Gojo, and it shows that Gojo also is a powerhouse in and of itself. But like, let me just, people are like, Gojo's evolving too fast, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, let me just go through.
To survive, man.
Yeah. Let me just go through the things that Sukuna hasn't used, right? So he hasn't used his open, like the open technique could be so many different abilities. It's hard to even say how much he's holding back, right?
At base, another fire ability that was able to incinerate
at least a fire arrow,
right?
Yeah, he could have like what we're acknowledging is that Sukuna had the potential to take a fire arrow, right, draw it and shoot it at Gojo right now, right? Because his technique should not be usable.
He hasn't used Megami's techniques at all.
He hasn't used any 10 different abilities, right? He hasn't used it all, and also keep in mind he's fighting with like half of the arms he's used to. Like, as it's so crazy that you could think about like their hand-to-hand combat would probably even look different because Sukuna would have double the limbs that Gojo does. And it's like, Jesus, man, just when you look at it like that, like I don't doubt that Gojo is going to continuously put up a fight. And I'll be on the record in saying I think that the next chapter is probably going to be one of those that like temporarily sways the fight in his favor, kind of like how Sukuna, when he cuts Gojo's neck, it's like agreed upon that chapter was Sukuna's victory. I think probably maybe the next 1 or 2 chapters, Gojo will turn it back in his favor. But let's be real, man. Gojo is adapting. Sukuna seems to be testing. Yeah, right.
Sukuna is more resisting than he is like. I'll put it to you like this, right? Gojo seems like he's surviving. Sukuna seems like he's fighting, right? Like he is on the front foot and Gojo's on the back foot, because what really, like, the moment that like cemented it for me was him finding a way to get out of Infinite Void's sure hit. That was crazy to me.
Bro just said, "I'll go back to back with you, bro." I know the
fly,
script.
dude. He like changed his domain on the fly. Like started scrapping with Gojo on the fly, doing domain amplification on the fly. Like that was all.
Domain in a domain is disgusting.
Disgusting, by the way. Like insane, unheard of, like unfair. It was one of those moments, right, where I was like, I almost forgot I was a real person. I was like, if I was living in this world, right? This guy's a calamity. There is simply no other word. It almost feels like disingenuous to call him like a sorcerer or a cursed spirit. This is a freak of nature, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? A domain in a domain?
Bro said, "Listen, I know we're doing the domain battle. I just need a domain amplification too." Like I'll give Gojo his credit, right? Like Gojo is not getting dog walked here. Like I think it's fair to say that like based on what both are showing, they're about even, right? It's just the difference in what they seem to be holding back, right?
Yeah.
If we assume that everything Gojo has shown us in the series is everything that he does have, then he isn't holding any technique back, but Sukuna is holding back a lot. Now I want to read through some super chats because they specifically address some things that I want to talk about. So first of all, Sleeping Nature, thank you for the 14. Sukuna is quite literally 2 up against Gojo. Yes, I agree.
Yep.
Now Caliber X4. Yeah. Thank you for the 5. Okay, I'll admit you're him. Now hold this Maharaga. That would be hilarious from Sukuna. Yes.
Bro.
Now Chris.
Go ahead. Sorry, just a little expanding. The second
Mm-hmm.
Sukuna's like, you know what? You could beat me in my prime. Puts
Mm-hmm.
the crown on, but you ain't beating me now,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it's cool. I see the thing is, real quick before I get to the other super chats, is like I think that from a narrative, like for us, right, for viewers, it could be like, yeah, Sukuna lost. But I when I thought about it, I'm like, does Sukuna really care, bro? I wonder. I truly wonder if he personally cares. He's like, nice. Now I'm going to use this other, like this entirely unrelated curse technique. Goodbye. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
because
but
it
yeah,
would
I
be
mean,
really
God,
funny if he
God, bro.
like the funniest thing for like the funniest way for Sukuna to go out if like the fight is very like standard, just Gojo and Sukuna, no other interference, like no other thematic, blah blah blah. Just if they go at it and the fight ends with one of them winning, right? The
Hmm.
funniest thing Sukuna could do is pull a Megami and be like, "All right, Maharaga, peace."
Huh. Yeah, bro, Maharaga and then leaving is crazy. Um,
Just be like,
yeah.
yeah, have fun with him.
Yeah, because the Sukuna and Maharaga might be actually disgusting, to be honest. Real quick though, this actually goes right into what we were talking about.
Mhm.
Chris YT, thank you for the 5. But does Sukuna have something stronger than his domain? True, he hasn't revealed his cursed energy or cursed technique. I'm assuming you mean, but is it stronger than his domain? Here's the thing, right? It does not need to be stronger than his domain. Like if we're talking, like it just doesn't. Because the hacks aren't just
It just needs to
tiered
be
exactly
different.
like that.
Yeah.
It needs to be different, like literally like this, right? We know that Gojo, because there's still a point in Gojo using red and
Mhm.
infinity and blue, right? None of those abilities are stronger than his domain, but blue makes him ridiculously fast.
Mhm.
Red literally damaged Sukuna the other chapter.
Mhm.
Purple obviously isn't stronger than a domain, but guess what? It's very useful, and so is infinity. Those abilities are not stronger than a domain, but we can also acknowledge that if Gojo wasn't using them, the fight would be entirely different,
Yeah.
right?
And
So the same thing is just with Sukuna. He has 10 Shikigami, or
that's
just several Shikigami with a bunch of different abilities
and one
that he
that can
can
adapt to
use,
anything, you know?
and one that can just adapt, and then he can fight himself, and he has an ability that is able to take a character out that can survive his domain. That's a big thing, right?
Yeah. What
Using a fire arrow on something that just survived your domain at least proves that the fire arrow is in a similar like raw energy ballpark.
I think what really kills me is the question why is Sukuna like why is he not making this a 12v1 if he really wanted to be like a prick about it, you know? Because
Yeah.
like he can also probably use Megami's domain, but like actually like use it like a real domain,
Mm,
or even combine them with Malevolent Shrine, right? In case he's like, all right,
mhm.
one technique's burnt out, here's the other one or whatever, right?
Yeah, that would be
And
that would be disgusting.
right, the thing is, he has so much in his arsenal that doesn't. The problem is variety, not power. But he has a lot of power to like amp all the variety. In the same way that Kinjaku was amping these like low level curse spirits to even like make Yuki and Choso like pause.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Now, well, let me get this super chat real
Mm.
quick. Jaden 3011, thank you for the 5. Gojo evolves too fast, people jealous of the grind set.
Bro,
I mean,
Sukuna's evolving even more from like Forbidden, bro.
listen, bro. I don't really give too much credence to that. Gojo got stabbed in the neck and then got up and said, "I'm different now." So like, it is what it is.
True.
I could see to some extent like certain things could probably piss people off, but so far it all feels like it's within the power system too. Like,
Mm.
why couldn't you invert a domain's thing? Because like the reason a domain's weaker on the outside is particularly because a sorcerer makes it like that so people just can't break out, right?
Yeah.
It's an intentional decision. There's no reason you wouldn't be able to invert it. I will say Gojo in particular is a weird guy to have the domain barrier be stronger on the outside than the inside just due to the nature of a sure hit, but aside from that, there's nothing really to criticize.
Yeah, but I mean, didn't Nanami say it himself? He was like, well, there's no incentive to, right? Because breaking into a domain like Infinite Void is like, okay, great, now you're an Infinite Void, or with Idle Transfiguration, like breaking the domain to get in is
Mhm.
it is disincentivized, right? Because of
Yeah,
the
no, I
nature
agree.
of
That's fair.
the short hit. Yeah.
That's fair. I will. So somebody in chat brought up something interesting. I want to see if I can find it real quick.
Mm.
Because people are having an argument about like whether or not Sukuna will care if he fights dirty, and somebody mentioned Sukuna in a moment of like not desperation, but like because he was like encumbered, just straight up lied to Hannah and was like, "I'm back,"
Yeah.
right? Like did something very like that's not honorable. That's not caring about the way you win. That's none of that, right?
Mhm.
he knew about a weakness in Hannah as a character, right? And because
He exploited it.
he was disadvantaged, he was like, okay, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like I'm not gonna fight you straight up, right? You have an ability, especially in the way that I am right now, that works on me. Hey, I'm gonna trick you. So that was a really good point. I didn't even think of it. That was a really good comment because it just shows that like outside of maybe fun, Sukuna doesn't really care about winning in an honorable way.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the guy who made a binding vow with Yuji and made part of the binding vow that he has to forget specifically for an opportunity like this. Like he doesn't care.
And the whole thing that he's looking for is honestly, in my opinion, somebody who just fights him the same way he fights other people and can, go the distance, right?
Yeah. I agree. I think the reason he's holding back is not for some like sake of honor, but it's entertainment.
Yeah,
right?
Actually, King Naja brings up a good. He just ripped out Yuji's heart as like a bargaining chip.
Yeah.
Like he's not. Yeah.
He literally exactly. He's like, no. I can't have this guy switch back, right? No, we're not doing that. That's not happening today.
Also, super chats. Divine Deviant, thank you for the 5. I'm still not convinced Gojo can beat Heinen era Sukuna due to his beefy as hell, 9 feet tall with 4 arms, plus all his divine weapons in each hand.
Yeah, bro. That's just forgetting like the cursed tools that we see him with. Like, dude, listen. If Sukuna just says open and 2 fucking cursed tools come out, one of which being the remnant of inverted spear, that first of all, that would be
insane.
Nuts. I'd be like,
Gojo's getting
Gojo,
flashbacks.
Gojo. I'm sorry to say this, buddy, but you didn't get all of it. But yeah, I mean, the tools are definitely different.
Chris Whitey, thank you for the 10. I have a really crazy setup. Sukuna get hit by Gojo's short hit. Gets dumped with info and starts reminiscing about his past, and that's how the Heinen era flashback starts. Let me cook. That would be hilarious.
Listen, bro.
That would be so funny. Because like that'd have to go for like what 2-3 chapters at least, and for Sukuna to just like remember, I don't know, some sort of like invigorating thing and be like, you know what, I am that guy, and just break out of it, just be the first guy to break out of infinity because like he just like has this flashback and he has like a shonen protagonist kind of moment. It'd be funny.
Yeah,
it'd be really funny, but it would be wild, like actually out of pocket as far as like a story decision by Gege.
Yeah, 100%. I also I will say I was a Heian era supporter, bro. I feel like every JJK fan was, but I might just have to put that agenda down. I don't know if that's I just don't know, man.
I'll be happy if it comes, but I'm no longer holding
that's exactly how I feel. I will gladly receive it, but I'm no longer hoping that it exists, bro. I can't hurt myself like that. But yeah, Caliber X4, thank you for the 10. It's cool all the things Gojo and Sukuna did this chapter don't technically break the rules of the power system. Just shows how flexible it truly is. Yeah. It's just like literally all they did was binding vow shit. Like it's funny that like they're just like, okay, binding vow, so it's weak on the inside, strong on the outside, binding vow. Sukuna being like, listen, bro, I don't need my sure hit in here. I'm just
Yeah,
that's
I don't.
insane.
Yeah, like I don't need it out there. I need it in here. Like.
Yeah.
What you thought I was gonna try to like push past the barrier? I'm not dumb. You're right here. Like, let's go.
Sukuna can't take infinite void. Sure hit, he'd be cooked.
I think he knows.
Bro.
No,
Maybe.
I think that's why he's fighting the way he is, because it seems like the phrase that popped into my head was "an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." Where,
for sure.
Yeah, like for Sukuna, it's not so much like he doesn't think he can recover, but the tax or like the I don't know, penalty for overcoming infinite void short hit feels a lot higher than just trying to not get hit in the first place. And
for sure.
Actually, on that note, and then I'll read Jerome Simmons your super chat. It's really interesting to me, and I brought this up to you a couple episodes ago, that Sukuna is still, both Sukuna and Gojo, but like more so Sukuna's like MP meter is still firing these domains off, and the reverse curse technique and the domain amplification. You almost have to wonder, like, at what point is he just like, all right, bro, you got 40% of my overall cursed energy reserves, right? This is the highest anybody's ever made me exert myself. So some comment like that, just to kind of get a sense of like where both these fighters are at right now. That's what I just want to see that, bro. Like give me some kind of like,
give me some numbers.
Give me some numbers, literally. Yeah, like be like, at half strength, I'm at half power. I need time to like something like that, right? Because Gojo's like he's been burning the candle at both ends, trying to keep himself alive and go on the offense, right? With Sukuna, it just seems like, yeah, he can juggle all of this at the air at once, and he still has, you know, another Yuta's worth of cursed energy to give.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I'm so glad that Yuta has decided to start being critical of Gojo and thinking, bro. I'm so glad he's out there. He's like, no. I need to start like absorbing this information for real. Like Gojo might be going beyond his limits. I might have to fight.
Yeah, he's like,
I might have to throw hands.
Oh my god, I might actually have to go in there. Oh, what the fuck? Oh shit, I haven't been paying attention. Like what?
Yeah. Oh no. That's not good. That's not good.
Oh shit, everybody's looking at me. Oh my god, they're waiting for me. They're like, oh yeah.
Gojo died. You to go. What? Me?
Come on.
Fight him?
Guys.
Bro, he beat Gojo.
Yeah.
The narrator said I'm second to him. What do you think I'm gonna do?
You know what, guys? Maybe Kenjaku's plan isn't all that bad. Let's see what he does first. You know, like I feel like we've been a little prejudiced. You know, let's see what he has in store for Japan. You know, we're all just assuming it's bad. You know, has anybody ever asked?
Yeah. I mean, come on, bro. Like, are cursed spirits really that bad when we're this strong? I mean, we can defeat a cursed spirit, right, guys?
I mean, I people prayed to Sukuna before and he didn't kill him, right? I mean, we could run that back.
Let's cook something up, bro. Let's cook something up.
Drum Simmons, thank you for the 70. Sukuna can't tank Infinite Void. Sure hit, he would be cooked. Am I crazy or did we just read that? Oh my god.
Maybe we did. I'm not sure.
But yeah, we answered it.
We definitely did talk about it at length.
I'm curious if you have like that similar feeling about like Sukuna's MP HP meter or Gojo. I feel like Gojo's health meter is probably lower than his like cursed energy.
So I'm kind of wondering. I guess one thing I'm curious about is like because Sukuna hasn't like opened a domain multiple times, right? This has all been one domain.
Yeah. So wait, is he just been relaunching the domain almost? Like
he's just expanding it further or not expanding it. Like so he's like not making a new one. The closest thing is when he enlarged his radius. But like I'm curious, like one thing I really would like to know is does opening a domain cost more curse energy than just maintaining it for a longer time? Like that would be something I'm very curious to see. We might not get it in such like explicit numbers, but my initial guess would just be opening it. It's probably the largest. It's the largest subtraction.
Interesting. Chris White, thank you for the 20. It's also funny how even Kenjaku told Sukuna about how to avoid Gojo's domain, even if he already knew about it from Yuji, and no one told Gojo. We now know he could have done something about it, dude. Yes, you actually touched on something that really bothered me. Kenjaku knows this, and he told Sukuna about it. So that means canonically, Kenjaku did more for Sukuna than the entire like JJK like high cast did for Gojo going into this fight.
Oh, is that how you guys read that? Like you read it as like a Kenjaku telling Sukuna there?
Yeah, I saw it as a flashback. Did you think it was like a Kenjaku's the narrator type moment?
And I'm not saying you guys are wrong here. I initially read it as like Kenjaku doing like a sports commentator thing, the same way Yuta and friends were. But it's very possible that could be a flashback and like Kenjaku's letting him know that. And Sukuna's like, no, bro, I already know that. But yeah, no, you're right. It probably is a flashback now that I reread it with that mindset. But yeah, Kenjaku definitely did try to help him out.
Yeah, just makes the barrierless domain lack of information a little bit more grimy, a little bit more obnoxious. Yeah. Aging like milk.
Sleeping Danger, thank you for the 14. That 5-minute fraud is sweating at the moment. Hey, bro, listen.
I mean,
when you combine them with the 4-minute and 11-second fraud, bro, you get 9 minutes of like pretty strong. So, you know,
dog.
Let me hype up my goat for a second, bro. Let me hype up my goat for a second.
Oh, Kashimo, let's go. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yes, sir, bro. I needed that.
I am so happy that Kashimo stopped his glazing for a chapter and remembered he was that guy. He was the guy that wanted smoke.
Listen, chat. I'm gonna tell you this right now, right? This makes everything else. I'm revising what that meant for me, bro. The reason Kashimo was upset is not because he was scared. It was because he's mad he wasn't out there facing it himself, bro. That's what it is now. As far as I'm concerned, Kashimo was upset that he wasn't scrapping. Kashimo said, listen, here's the thing, chat. Here's the thing. He's seeing everything they're doing, right? He saw Gojo open a domain twice. He saw him get ready to do it a third time. He saw what Sukuna's doing. And he said, cool. once this guy dies, I got next. Oh my god, bro.
I got winner.
That's my goat for real, bro. That's my goat for real. I need bro, I can't express enough how much I needed Kashimo to be on that timing again. And then the fact that he goes up to Hakari, he's like, don't try to stop me. And Hakari just gets back to sweat, and I'm like, God, bro. Thank you for the icing on the cake there, bro. Thank you for the icing on the cake there. Because Kashimo was just locked in a way that I needed him to be locked in, bro. I needed that.
Dude, I was just happy to see somebody being like, you know what? After seeing all that, yeah, I still want to get in there. I want to do my thing.
Yeah, bro's literally said, okay, yeah, I'm fighting this guy. This is nice. I like what I'm seeing. I would like to be involved, please and thank you. Yes.
Dude,
yes.
Dude, that godlike comment, it's been retconned. Now it just Kashimo
means
being like,
he's just like, he's just really good, but I'm also godlike, bro. Like, what you mean?
M3 thank you for the 2. Kashimo gonna get folded in 2 seconds. BR, that's some fighting words.
Listen, bro, because you donated when you said that, I won't time you out. Say it in a comment where you didn't pay for it, bro. Don't let me catch you. Listen, don't let me see it, bro. Don't let me see it. That's all I'm saying. I won't. Sorry, almost banned. But anyways, but on a real note, like, Kashimo's confidence it got me hyped, bro. It got me hyped because here's the thing. All of these characters here can see what's happening for the most part, right? Like, outside of when Gojo's domain is up and they're actually inside the barrier, they're seeing a majority of this fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, like, before anybody takes me out of context, I'm not necessarily saying Kashimo's stronger than everyone else here, right? Necessarily. But all I'm saying is that not necessarily, you can infer it if you want, but that's not what I'm saying. But Yuta looks scared, bro. Hakari looks scared. Kusakabe seems pissed that everybody's so broken, and I find that kind of funny. But everybody seemed a little nervous, bro.
In this
Kusakabe.
chat. Okay.
Hey, bro, listen. See, when I say Kusakabe's the GOAT, I'm crazy. I'm insane. But when you listen, bro.
There's video evidence of me meat riding Kusakabe on TikTok.
Nah, bro. When I said Kusakabe was a special grade level sorcerer for beating up Kenjaku, you would know I've called me crazy, bro. That's all I'm saying. But on a real note, Kusakabe has been a really good fight commentator.
Bro, literally the best. Okay, so let's. I want to break down not only Kusakabe's comment, but I'm gonna gloat a little bit, chat. Okay. So, for all of you that don't know, a month or so ago, I think in May 4th, May 5th, I got on my TikTok and I made a video just because I was rereading the manga at the time, and I noticed in the Dagon fight, Nobusu used Falling Blossom Emotion against Dagon. I was like, wait, I totally forgot about this technique, right? Because Hollow Wicker Basket, Simple Domain, New Shadow Style, they're all kind of the go-tos for anti-domain techniques, right? So I saw Falling Blossom Emotion. I'm like, wait, this is actually really cool, right? And this would be a crazy fun way to negate an ability like Sukuna's that just sort of attacks, right? So make this TikTok about it. I'm like, yo, Falling Blossom Emotion, very underrated ability. I'd love to see it come back. What I forgot until I got a comment on that video from 2 days ago was some guy saying, damn, you predicted it. And I rewatched my own video and I'm like, wait, what was that? So at the end of that video, I said, yeah, it's sort of Gojo's Infinity, but it bites back, and it would be crazy if Gojo would be able to use it. And I was like, no, dude,
no.
Apollo had fun with this one. Dude, the gift of prophecy hit me like a truck, and I didn't even realize it. So I'm doing my victory lap. I'm literally Hemstradamus, bro. I predict the future.
Hemstradamus. Okay.
I
get you.
I might be psychic. I might literally be psychic.
Possibly. But yeah, not New Shadow Style. Falling Blossom Emotion. Cool to see.
Yes,
I like how Sukuna will be tearing somebody apart, and they'll be like, "What the? Those wounds aren't deep enough."
Yep.
Gojo's still profusely bleeding. Is like, bro, what? This is lame. Where are the body parts flying? And the only way he knows Falling Blossom Emotion is being used is by the fact that Gojo's still intact. I just love that. It's funny.
Yep.
But
yeah.
Couple super chats, right?
Yeah.
You first.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you for the 10.
Damn, bro.
The unsung MVPs for the good guys for me are Higuruma and Kashimo. Higi got the barriers. Kashimo got the hands. Imagine Higi throws the execution blade to Kashimo and he electrifies it.
Oh
That'd be
my God.
hilarious, but
That'd be
like
funny as hell.
totally unnecessary because isn't it just like an instant kill? Like
It is an instant kill.
dude,
The only reason he would give it to Kashimo is because like he's faster. But like if
literally,
it
yeah.
touches Sukuna, he will die.
Literally, the electric
But
charge
yeah,
would be like if you wanted to have fun with like the pain or something.
yeah. Higuruma's being cool as hell though, because he's just like you can tell this motherfucker's learning. He's
Hmm.
like, oh my God, bro, is this what? Oh, damn, sorcery's kind of deep.
Yeah, man,
Listen, bro. He's just looking. He's like, analyzing. I'm like,
bro. Like
God damn, bro. Bro's smart as hell. Like, I'm like,
literally,
okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
yeah. I'm like, you know, after this is all over, we shouldn't let this guy out of our sight. You know, like
Yeah, we should. He definitely needs to be like 100% a sorcerer because we don't want him to be a curse user. That's
yeah.
not good.
We'll
Actually.
just say it's like a punishment for like the prosecutor and judge. He
Yeah,
killed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He killed 20 people. You know what I mean? It's not like he didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
I mean,
Let's
honestly,
take him out
the
of the
most
game.
fair punishment is just putting him on the payroll.
Yeah,
That's he's really
yeah,
got
that's
to
what we should do.
he's got to
Yeah, really got to atone through his actions. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Drum Simmons, thank you for the 140. The way this fight is going makes me question Gege more about the time skip when Gojo came back because no one seems confident other than Kashimo. We don't have any info that this is literally the end of the world. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say we're not getting it because I still think we need to, but the further we get away from it, the sort of like the funnier and funnier the like immediate defense. The defense I made or like I mentioned included is like we were all like, or a lot of people were all like, yeah, it's fine, this chapter on its own is like whatever, but it's obviously gonna get recontextualized, and it's just funny that it's been like 2 months since then, and we have not gone back in time a single second, bro. And I still think we are, so like that's not an issue for me. But it is funny that like people were complaining about it going too fast, and then we skipped forward and we're like, no, bro, we'll get a flashback, don't you worry. And it's just like, hey, bro, 2 months later, what happened?
I think
But it'll come later.
actually, I want to take that a step further. The funniest thing is that we did get a flashback, and it was Kenjaku telling Sukuna about Gojo's domain, which is so fucking funny. Like, Gojo needs something, dude. I like you think going into this fight, Gege was like he kind of gaslit himself into thinking Sukuna was actually the challenger because he is not showing the fight with that mindset. Like I am not getting that from these chapters, man. I'm just like, man, Gege's been waiting to do this to Gojo. Like this feels personal.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is Gojo being like good, huh?
That's interesting.
Uh,
Caliber X4, thank you for the 2. Higuruma with experience is genuinely terrifying. Yes. Correct.
Yep. Oh, dude, actually, funny you mentioned that because it brings me back to the Falling of Blossom Emotion thing. Little catch that I made was everybody calling out Kusakabe for knowing a very secret technique of the 3 major clans and him not explaining how. And it's just like, yeah, he's using Falling Blossom Emotion. Everybody's like, what the fuck's it? What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, like what's that? And he's like, oh, it's just the secret thing that only the big 3 clans know about. What the fuck? What do you know about that?
And he's just like, no, see what the technique is like. Hold on, you didn't answer the question.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, listen, bro. All I'm saying is Kusakabe, listen, bro. Him picking Miwa as a student and knowing all of this, all I'm gonna say is my agenda grows stronger every day. Also, chat does bring up a good point. I completely forgot about it because it was like, it was, in my opinion, not the stuff I cared the most about. But we did flashback a little bit to see Gojo talk to Gakuganji and say he doesn't care that he killed his teacher.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
I guess that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, a small little note about that Kusakabe thing. It was like a passive thought, but it was like, oh, that's why Mei said that thing to Yuji about I haven't seen somebody get this strong without a technique since Kusakabe.
Yeah, Kusakabe is like actually strong. Like he's actually like very knowledgeable and strong. And I'm like, listen, bro.
Like tell him.
I need Kusakabe, bro. But here's the thing. Like I'm not gonna lie. Even if I was like elite grade 1, right? Like one of the strongest sorcerers that Jujutsu I has. What does that got to do with Sukuna though?
Literally,
like, bro, what is that really?
Really
I'm
funny.
not getting paid Sukuna bucks. Come on now.
Oh no, 100%. Like it's really funny though because like even addressing the disaster curses in Shibuya was like like he thought was out of his pay grade. It's like, nah, I think you can do it, bro. Like I believe in you.
Yeah, me too. I think he's a special grade sorcerer level personally.
No, because
That's what
like
I see.
isn't the logic of the grading system, grade one sorcerer should take on a special grade curse and so on, because you feel like okay,
I mean,
Nanami,
yeah, but Nanami can't beat any
no, he
because the
can't.
disaster curses are different.
Yeah, no,
Like the
they're like
disaster
high
curses, there's a
special grade.
large
Yeah,
gap.
but I'm talking like Kusakabe should easily handle a finger bearer or two. You know?
I mean, sure, yeah. Like I agree. I think the difference between a disaster curse and a finger bearer is very very large though.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
like
I mean, look.
very very large. But I'm saying listen, but I'm saying I agree. I think Kusakabe, listen, I think he should have been a special grade over Yuki personally. That's just me. But like
Oh,
I know that's a little bit of a hot take. 50% of the fan base agrees, the other 50% doesn't. But yeah, that's just my take.
speaking of Yuki, uh, the last panel that was an interesting play by Gojo, shrinking down the domain to that tiny size. I
Yeah.
didn't even know that you can shrink domains and everything's to scale, because you'd have to wonder that like are Gojo and Sukuna now like that size relative in the domain, like
No.
that'd be
The
crazy,
reason
right?
they can't. We know for a fact, like one, it's stated, but two, like it's just been said that the dimensions inside and out of domain do not have to or very rarely correlate.
Mm,
The prime example being Dagon makes an island, but we know for a fact that like the domain they were in was still very very like
mm.
the actual outside barrier was
Yeah,
small. We see it
yeah,
dissipate.
it's like Doctor Who. It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
Which like I fully get, but I want it's still a funny thought to think you can
Yeah.
shrink a
I
domain
just
that small. Yeah, like
mm,
because you think of it was like if it didn't matter if it was immaterial, then Gojo doing it would have no effect. Like the price for doing it as far as like cursed energy, like the power system is concerned, is like and like what
it's
is
just you catch less people in it.
yeah.
So like
I guess
yeah.
it's like you're technically shrinking the barrier, but it's like
Hmm.
I want to see if this gambit pays off because this is the first move of Gojo's with this. First of all, I want to talk about Gojo's tactic here before like really
Hmm.
like unfurling this last panel.
Hmm.
He was just like, "Oh, domain didn't work. Let me try it again."
Yeah.
Insane, by the way. Like insane. Like even the people like watching were like, "What is bro doing? The domain didn't work 3 times in a row," and he's like, "But it might work a fourth time."
Yeah.
You know what it
I
reminded me of?
mean,
It reminded me of that
yeah.
scene in Avengers Endgame where
Hmm.
Thor was talking to Rocket and he was like, "Yeah, Thanos has never fought me," and Rocket was like, "No, yes, he has, and he beat you," and he's like, "Well, he's never fought me twice."
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, he
Yeah,
already
and I
hit your
think the thing is,
domain. Yeah.
to be fair, like Sukuna and Gojo can't really kill each other out without a domain,
Mm,
under normal circumstances, to be honest. Like at least with the way they're fighting. Like Purple didn't kill Sukuna. He either avoided it or tanked it. I lean towards avoided,
mm,
right? But if Sukuna off guard could avoid purple, and he can obviously survive red and blue and things like that, they're not really going to kill each other in close quarters combat. Domains are the only thing they have. Like Gojo has to be able to win a domain clash.
mm.
Um, and
But
I think I think like encompassing Sukuna's domain with his own and then forcibly shrinking it so it can't be destroyed from the outside is probably the best thing he could have done. I
mm-hmm,
will say, like I mentioned earlier in stream, I think these next one or two chapters will be swayed in Gojo's favor personally.
mm,
However, it would be hilarious, right? Because a lot of the things we're seeing is from the perspective of like the students and like everybody watching the fight. It would be kind of crazy to just have the thing start off with like the barrier breaking open and Gojo just coming out all fucking beat up, and then we're like, what the hell happened in there? And we get like that retroactive showing of the fight. But
mm.
like Sukuna. Oh, I know you as a Gojo fan may not like that one as much, but it would be funny to me to see Gojo like try like, all right, this will get him, and then he's just like, no, he won't. I actually have a counter.
Yep. And he goes
Um,
back to the drawing board and he's like, "All right, I got him this time." He's like,
Listen, I
"Wrong
got you ever
again."
heard of a new color, bro? Listen, hold on, red, blue, purple.
It could be
Lime
white,
green.
based on that crazy ass cover that Gege drew for Shonen Jump this week.
Oh, the bright ass fucking
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
white.
just white. Oh yes, Gege Gojo's famous white.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see.
Oh, Jerome Simmons, thank you for the 35. What does dense mean in this context? I wonder. What is Gojo's plan? I think Gojo's plan is literally just I need this guy to get hit with Limitless. Like he needs to see Infinity. Like I gotta give him the Jogo treatment, but like seal the deal. And
Yeah.
I think this might be the moment that Sukuna unleashes Megumi's technique like fully. Like he just be like, all right, you know what, bro? Fine, you got me. I concede. Let's do this. I'm not holding back. Like you're no longer a fish. Like this is a fight now. We're scrapping to like the bitter end. The funniest response Gojo could have, and I mean this like it would be haha funny. Like it would be laugh out loud funny. Would be for Gojo to be like, nah, Kashimo, it's your turn.
Yeah. No. I literally didn't sign up for this.
It's not even like he'd be a coward. He would just be like, it would be the funniest way to bring Kashimo into the fight because Kashimo would he would be like weirded out by it, but he wouldn't be upset because he'd be like,
Yeah.
I feel like if Sukuna and Kashimo were to fight from the beginning, Sukuna would not take him seriously or show any of his cards, let alone like he might fight him like Yorozu, right? But if he's already got him out, Kashimo's like, all right, let's do this. I'm gonna beat you at your best on some Hakari, like turn up the music. This is a funeral for a living shit, or like that's how losers think.
Listen, bro, Sukuna won't have the opportunity to hold back against my goat. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, I think in this context, dense like for the domains just means that like, so first of all, I think the strategy is if Gojo can make the barrier larger than Sukuna's range, he can basically take control of that space and then forcibly shrink it down so Sukuna can't destroy the barrier from outside. And the reason I think he's making it super dense intentionally is also because like if we know that the larger a domain comes, the less potent the sure hit is and the less control you have, then it follows that the smaller it is, the more control you have and the more potent that it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like it could be that Gojo is trying to brute force like inside the domain, like not have them be even, but like by use of like binding vows and stuff like that, overpower Sukuna's sure hit, which would be really the only way I think he can kind of win this domain battle.
One of the most interesting things about Gojo's domain that we've never really seen is what is Infinity supposed to do? And I mean that like in a like with Sukuna when Sukuna unleashes his domain and it's like intent to kill, right? The person just gets like chopped indefinitely, right? But with Gojo's, he's only ever used it sort of like defensively or sort of non-lethally, like with Jogo. So I don't actually know what the like hit is, so to speak, right? After the person stops moving from the infinity. And
you think there's more than that?
Yes, because it feels like okay. Why would Gojo have a sure hit and not a sure kill for like a sorcerer at his level, right? I've always assumed that the sure kill part of Gojo's domain would be like you pass away sort of like from the infinite like overload, right? In the same way that people in Japan can only handle like 6 months worth of infinity or whatever. And I just figured, yeah, they just sort of die, like in almost like dying in their sleep, kind of passing away type shit.
I mean, I would agree. I just don't see it as like a different. I see it as like an extension of being there too long, like being hit by the attacks too long, basically. Is how I look at it. Like and he could. I just don't think he has another function of the domain. Like I think the bombardment of information is the technique. And like in the same way, so like in the same way that Sukuna's technique is only like it's just a sure hit, right? Like it doesn't. Oh, like it. In fact, most of the people that have been hit by Sukuna's domain have survived the actual domain. Crazily enough,
yeah.
But it's just the effects of it are just very like very we'll say not inviting. And I think the same thing is for Gojo's. Like he can kill you in it himself. Like he can walk over and take your head off. I mean, he does it with Jogo. If you immobilize them completely and you can kill them just by having them in there long enough, I think from the perspective of Gojo, what more could you really ask for? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if he was to like, if it was just the stopping technique, which would be kind of in character, in line for all his other abilities, Gojo could just be like, all right, you're finally stopped. Here's a hollow purple to the head. Rest in peace. Yeah, I could see that happening as well. I think either one works. Because Gojo's domain has always confused me on some small level. because I didn't get like what the damage was, so to speak, right?
Hmm.
Because it seems like great, you stop them, and like why is
Yeah.
just stopping them superior in a domain clash against Sukuna? You know what I mean? Like that's sort of like where my thinking is at.
There's no ability to resist, I think, is why he thinks it's superior.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like
Um,
you can counter Sukuna's domain technically. Like most people can't, right? But there is, in theory, once you get hit some way to do it. So far, what we've seen with Gojo is that there isn't.
mm,
But we have a couple of super chats real quick.
yeah, yeah. Jaden 3011, thank you for the 5. Gojo turned that domain into a soccer ball, bro. Yes, he did, and I can't
Bro
wait to
wants to
see.
be a striker for
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
Yeah. His ego showing.
Mhm. The or XTI7, thank you for the 5. The smaller the domain, the more refined it is. Meme says when he expands it, that the larger it is, the less refined it is. The opposite is also true. Yeah, I agree. I think that was the intended purpose that he was going for there for sure. Um,
Yeah, Gojo's domain to me feels like
mhm.
okay. Chat is really messing with my head right now because I never even considered that Gojo's domain might be a short hit and not a short kill. Because
Okay.
like
Question.
right,
You've said that twice, right?
right.
And what is the distinction between the two you're
Okay, I'll
making?
give you an example of each. Right, a short hit is what Higuruma has in that there's a litany of conditions that you have to abide by just for summoning the domain, and one of the biggest ones that you have to make as far as concessions is you can't have it be lethal, right? It's not a lethal blow. You just want to hit them with like the conditions of your domain, not of the like attack itself, right? So
Okay.
for Higuruma, it's hey, no violence for me or you. I have to explain the rules of the trial, and yeah, we both have to play by its rules. And then I don't even really get to kill you. I get like an advantage in the fight, right? It's all these like different layers of conditions he has to fulfill before getting to the point of like
The ability,
yeah.
sure.
For a sure kill
Okay.
or whatever, it's sort of like Mahito in that you're in it, you die, or like Joe goes
Okay.
right, you just burn up. So
Sure.
yeah, I never thought that Gojo's wasn't a short kill in the same way because it always seemed like that, right? Maybe he can adjust the lethality like he did with Jogo, but
Hmm.
generally I always thought, hey, this is kind of over for you if you get hit by this because of the
Yeah.
domain, not because of like what he does to you in the domain, if that makes sense. Like Mahito's not
Hmm.
like rewriting your soul and then like coming up to punch you really really hard. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
yeah.
So I don't think it like so this is just a distinction I'm making, particularly because Chat brought it up.
Mm,
I don't really care about like the terminology. But I do think that you're making like so Chat's like everything sure hit, it's lethal, non-lethal. And like, yeah, basically. The thing is like there are no when you look at it like sure hit and sure kill, there are no domains that like will kill you, like no matter what. One just doesn't exist. Like I think we've seen in every domain expansion so far that there are ways to survive it, even if you don't like use a counter domain or like a simple domain or anything of that nature. And
mm.
you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but like every domain, Sukuna's, Gojo's, Mahito's,
No, but
Jogo's,
with Mahito's,
um,
he was like he didn't kill Nanami right away because he was like
I'm
talking
talking
to
about
him.
Toto.
Oh,
Um,
I guess.
like
But that was a
like
point two thing.
Naoya's, sure, but like that his effect still took place and the attack still landed. So that's kind of what I'm getting at, right?
Mm.
Like you can kill them, right? And the attacks are deadly in the sense that like yes, if you take them unprotected for like long periods of time, you will indeed die. But like
Like
I'm trying
okay,
to think like
an,
Sukuna, you survived his, Mahito, you can survive his, Shogo's,
okay. Like
Gojo's.
here's the problem, right? Surviving Mahito's domain requires like a very and I mean this like I distinguish between like full fat domains and like point two domain expansions because those are fundamentally they achieve different things, right? Speed is the priority with the point two domain. Like you're trying to
Sure.
achieve like a short term advantage. You're trying to lighten the load, right? With a fully released domain, you're going for the full effect. And I think it's safe to say, and I don't know if you disagree with this, if Mahito used like his full domain against Toto, that'd be over, right? Like
I agree,
yeah,
but what I'm getting at, right, is that there is well, I don't even know if I would like. Okay, so yes, I think so, but I don't think it's because Mahito's like one sort of attack of the sure hit is enough to kill Toto. And the reason I think that is because Mahito thinks that basically. He's unsure whether or not his idol transfiguration is powerful enough to one-shot Toto. Because like I agree, right? Malevolent Shrine can kill people, right? Like if I stand in there, it will surely kill me. However, Gojo, that isn't the case, right? The
Right.
attacks are the same, but none of the attacks there is no domain that like like one attack from it will kill you.
Okay.
Dagons,
So let
Mahitos,
me
Jogos.
rephrase then, right? Instead of a sure kill, it's more like lethal.
It's just lethal.
Yeah.
It's lethal and non-lethal, yeah.
Right. Because
And
like
I classify
yeah.
Gojo's as lethal because you will die if you stay in it too long.
Right, but like, what is the cause, right? Like, that's the like we don't know the mechanism of death, and that's what I'm trying to get at, right? For all we know, it could be like you just pass away from the information overload, or Gojo just kills you in there himself, right? But the difference, right, almost to me signals a difference in type in like the type of domain that it is. Like for example, Hakari's domain is about giving himself a power up, right? You're kind of in there as like a like you're just sort of there to maybe stop him from hitting a jackpot, right? With Gojo's, it's like, okay, it gives him the advantage of you not being able to move, right? Huge advantage, I grant you, right? But is it lethal because of what he does to you, or is it lethal because it is lethal, right? Because
It's lethal because it's lethal, and he says as much. Like he says as much multiple times. So the first time is when he's telling Jogo that he's dying slowly within the domain because of the like perception, and like the overload. And then the second time is when he calculates that like he can only open the domain for 0.2 seconds specifically because humans are weak enough where that is the max that they can take, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like here's the way I look at it, right? If it can kill humans like through just the natural domain effect, it can do that for everyone technically. The time is just the difference, right? Um so like it's sort of like why, we don't say Sukuna is like what kills you with Sukuna's domain. Is it the slashes itself or is it like the fire arrow he sends after? It's like, well, it depends, right? It depends on who you are in the context. Like for like a finger bearer, it's the slashes, right? Because it's weak enough to where you can't survive even one blow, right? But for like Mahoraga, he needs the fire arrow, not because like the attack isn't lethal or intended to kill you, but it's because like the person you are fighting has enough ability to resist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And resistance in Gojo's domain just means a continued like life. It doesn't mean that you're actually fighting back. It just means that you aren't actively dying. Not even actively dying. You aren't
Slower.
literally dead.
Yeah.
It's slower. Like it's like a sliding scale. I would imagine that Sukuna would probably survive in there the longest, right?
Right.
And it's a
Yeah.
sliding scale of all the way down. It just depends on how strong you are.
Okay. Okay. This actually makes more sense because it tracks with this comment Sukuna always makes when he slashes somebody about like, oh, I meant to cut you in blank.
Yeah.
So I think it might just be a souped up version of that for domains, right? Where he's like, oh, wait, what? I meant to like completely, tear you apart atom by atom to Gojo, and Gojo's like constantly healing. In the same way, it might just be a bigger version of that thing he did to Ishigori where he's like, oh, wait, I meant to cut you in like thirds. So that was it.
Yeah,
And then
he's like, you're good, and he's like, I didn't even cut you. You're not even dead. Good job, man. Round of applause. For people mentioning Nalia's, that's funny because he's one of the more blatant examples of a domain not being lethal. Like Daido and Mio trigger the attack, and they like both survive. Obviously take extensive damage because that's the intent of the domain. But Daido moves and like throws his sword to Maki in spite of that being like exactly what should hurt him. But obviously that's not the case, you know.
Also, just gonna can you just do the super chats? I really gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Let's see. Okay. Caliber X4, thank you for the 10. Let's remember that anyone that is in Gojo's domain that isn't a cursed spirit and is in for more than 0.2 seconds is becoming a vegetable. That's basically death. I mean, not only is that basically death, but Gojo cannot open his domain because it actually kills people. At least in Shibuya, right? Jaden 3011, thank you for the 2. I'm assuming you mean now he's literally kill you for moving? No. The sure hit takes effect. Like, if you guys want to, like, fact check me, right? Take chapter 198, where, like, they move, and then they don't die. Right? and that happens, right? They fall down, like Mio falls down, like cool. The only way to survive in the domain, really long term, is by not moving. But you can move, your cells can be distorted, and you can still survive. It just doesn't kill you. But yeah. Yeah, it's like and that's the thing. It's like it does damage, right? The intention is to take you out of the fight. However, circumstances can allow for it not to kill you, right? Um, oh, yeah. Yeah. We are about where there's more where that came from. Jesus. Anyways, now you're just an L though. I mean, I agree, but he still does have like a sure hit domain or like a fucking a lethal whatever. If they are alive, they are moving. Sure. But it's obvious. Not I won't say it's obvious. It's clear that they are like the amount of movement required to trigger the domain. It might be a little bit larger than like your lungs expanding and contracting. Um, yeah. Let's see. And also people are bringing up Eurosi's domain and like, yeah, maybe. Um, very potentially, but I mean, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you because we just don't get to see it at all. I'm sure that there's context where she wouldn't die from it either. Or not she wouldn't die, but like her opponents wouldn't die from it either. Maybe she's the best example, but that's simply an application of like her having a very good, like the perfect sphere being like, I don't know, like infinite attack potency, whatever the fuck. But yeah. Do you think Toto could clap his way out of a domain? I would imagine no. Um, and that's just a gut feeling, but I would imagine no. I would guess not. It depends on if Toto can like find like locate cursed energy outside of a domain and switch. Um yeah. 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 Let's see. Hmm. Could the Gojo clan have a secret information on the Ten Shadows technique weaknesses, like how Hollow Purple was a secret? I mean, you could, I guess. Like, you definitely certainly could. But the thing is about like Purple is a secret, not just like amongst the world, but like even the Gojo clan members don't all know about Purple, right? So like one of the weaknesses of curse techniques or like ones that are inherited is that generally speaking you can kind of figure out what they are. Like the 10 shadows is popular if you're a modern day sorcerer and you're like aware of your of like the big clans, you probably know what the 10 shadows does generally speaking. But like then you have something like Hollow Purple, which is shrouded in mystery even amongst like the clan, and it could probably be a mix of things. One, intentional shrouding by the Gojo clan, but two, there are probably just less people who have gotten hit by Hollow Purple and survived than there are who've been hit by like red or blue and survived to tell the tale. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Um,
I'm back. I heard you talk about the secrecy of the Ten Shadows and other like inherited techniques, and I just thought of something really quick.
mm,
Uh, they don't like to know about the technique is one thing, right? That's already like a big ask. If it's similar to the Gojo clan, people in the Zenin clan might not even know about the secret technique, let
mm,
alone a weakness, right? Like a weakness seems like even a step too far, like a layer too deep in what Gojo should theoretically be able to know.
mm.
It feels like, okay, does Nabito Zenin know about purple? Probably not. Does he know how to like get past it? Definitely not. You know?
Yeah, don't let it hit you, please.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Uh, you gonna let it touch you? No. That's it. That's all I got.
yeah. Um,
Um,
can Jackpot Hakari survive Gojo's domain expansion? Probably not.
Probably not.
Like, the only
Yeah.
way I could see like reverse curse technique being good is like for that type of domain is if you can use it to like specifically recover like your brain, and I
No,
don't know if you
I feel
can.
like Gojo's a hard counter to Hakari's jackpot because time probably flows differently. So Gojo could just be like, all right, see you in 11 minutes and 12 seconds, I guess,
Huh.
or
Yeah,
4 minutes and 11 seconds. Like it's so funny to me because he could just burn out Hakari's jackpot. You know, he doesn't have to do
yeah,
anything.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um, yeah. I think that's basically everything. Honestly, 10 out of 10 chapter.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll give it a solid 9. It was a pretty good chapter. I
Wow.
rock with it. I rock with it.
Peyton Ronan
Um,
comes out yet again.
yeah, bro. Oh, my hate for the 9 out of 10. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But no, this is a good chapter.
Hmm.
Um,
Best part, no break next week. Let's go.
yeah, we actually just get to fucking see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Surprised Gege is being merciful with this chapter. You know,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Is that? Let's see.
Honestly, as far as
Laundry list.
I kind of want to like give a overall I want to give an overall opinion on the fight so far.
Okay, go ahead.
I think we need a couple more chapters like these.
Hmm.
In that I want to see more back and forth, right? I don't want this to end very unceremoniously. And
Okay.
I not even unceremoniously, I don't want to see it end too quickly, right?
Hmm.
Uh
Yeah.
I just I like this. This was really good. This is a great fight. And the metric that I have in my head for it is can somebody make a anime fans ain't ready for JJK season 3 and then it's like a super manga cut of like of this fight and
Hmm.
I'm like there's simply not enough material for that little mashup, right? I think a couple more chapters like this, you know, this gas that
You mean you want it to
TikToker.
be like the length? You want it to basically be able to be an MMV like
Yes,
that?
yes,
Like,
MMV
got you.
length, yeah. And I mean like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good one too. Like I want to see like multiple different like hype moments in the fight that we all like manga readers immediately recognize.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
It's gonna be season 4, Chief, probably.
God, yeah, you're
Yeah.
probably right.
Cooling
Damn.
game's long as hell, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure, for
yeah.
sure.
That's kind of my
Oh
thinking on
Jesus.
it.
2 more donations. Jerome Simmons, thank you for the 35. Wednesday 5th. Wait, what? Not that.
Wednesday,
Jesus.
5th July, Thursday, 6th July, we eaten. Oh,
Oh,
for
because
scans.
chapters.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
like
right.
chapters
Okay.
and shit.
Yeah, so
That's crazy, bro. We really we said fuck Sundays for real. Like the JJK fan base said it's the Sundays.
yep.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Bro,
Jordan.
ever since like Megana or maybe it was Gojo getting unsealed, we all just said we got to read the scans because like we're getting spoiled
Because like
anyway.
I'm getting spoiled anyway, bro. Like
Yep.
I literally I'm reading it regardless. I might as well read it like in a chapter format, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Jordan Manda, thank you for the 5. This fight feels like Goku versus Cell. Gojo will say I give up and call on Yuji. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Yuji might not be the first guy that needs to come in here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie to
and I
you.
don't think Kashimo would just take that line down. Like I feel like there's got to be a line. Kashimo's in front, and then maybe he'll get other
Yeah.
people.
I feel like he'd be like, Yuji, you're next. I'm just
Yeah,
like, this
bro.
motherfucker. Yeah, no, I'm literally fighting him. I don't
But
care. Like, I'm fighting somebody that says they're the strongest,
yep.
bro. Jesus.
And on some like, I'm gonna take your analogy at face value. If Gege does like a sensu bean type shit, no, no,
Not
don't
here.
do that.
We don't need that. No, no,
Yep.
no, 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 no.
Believe me, bro. Nobody here is doubting Sukuna's strength. All right.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Speaking of which, right? We talked about like July 6th, and we talked about like voting for like honored ones, stuff like that.
Yes,
But
yes,
I
yes.
guess I guess it is a pretty good time to talk to you guys before we close out, right? Like about the membership things we've been rolling out.
Mm.
Some of you guys have been trying to bully me to hurry up and get it here, and season 2's here, so we thought, hey, let's cook something up for y'all. So I mean, the basic idea, like the two biggest things that like if I personally was getting a membership, I look forward to is like the like membership streams like on the day a JJK episode comes out, talking about it, reviewing it, giving our thoughts. Basically, what we do with the JJK chapters, but with the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
You guys get that. You guys get the actual stream version, the live version
Yep.
of it.
Y'all get
And
first
then
crack, and
you guys get
yeah.
first crack at it, like while it's still hot. I don't know, bro. Like, listen, all I'm gonna say is me personally, I would like to see the initial reaction to Toji stabbing Gojo a bunch of times. Like, listen, that's all I'm saying for me personally. But on top of that, you guys get to
vote on all future Honored Ones book club picks exclusively.
You do. You get.
Yep. So if y'all want to make your picks heard, that's the place to do it. We're only gonna have one tier. We just decided that's the simplest way, and also it's easiest for us. So I think this is gonna be fun, especially this week. I just clocked. Oh my god! I just got what Jerome meant in his super chat. July 6th is like the first episode of the anime. Oh my god.
Yeah, July 6th is the anime.
Yeah, wow.
Wednesday he's talking about chapters, I think.
Oh, I thought he was just like estimating the window of when the leaks were gonna drop. I was like, oh, that's.
Oh no.
Yeah. So my bad, Jerome. I didn't get that, but I got it. I eventually got there. But yeah, it's gonna be really fun. We hope you guys enjoy it. There's gonna be a lot of fun emotes and badges too, just like designed by our very own Live Harder. Who, by the way, designed today's and the rest of our awesome thumbnails.
Yeah, so shout out to her. She is going through it, bro. The eyes have been strange. She's been making too much peak back to back, you know.
So we gotta let her rest up.
Yeah, let her rest up. Appreciate her for making this in spite of that, though. So you know. But yeah, yes, finally some capitalism in here. Yeah, bro, we had to cave. Listen, bro. I'm a commie by trade, but I saw my rent and I was like, damn.
Hello.
We need money, bro. And listen, what better way to do it than like capitalism and like I don't know, bro. Like we need those weighted votes. We need those votes to like, bro. Listen, lobby for your votes.
Somebody last stream was like electoral college and honored ones. I mean, look,
bro. Listen, bro. All I'm gonna say is, you know, come on. But nah. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you guys will enjoy those JJK season 2 streams. Those are probably going to be really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, thanks to Liv. Thanks to you guys for showing up. I guess I'll thank Gege a little bit for making the chapter or whatever. But yeah, fun stream. Appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us and hope to only keep going up from here.
Yep. No, not good. See you guys next